So then, right, without even asking, she reaches in elbow deep.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I can just feel her kind of.
I thought you were at the dentist.
Sorry.
Oh,
what's going on, everyone?
Dentist appointment, my ass.
Welcome back. Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about
Up
up top already. Not even 1 minute.
Welcome back to another episode of Bangkok Strange. This is our weekend coffee edition. Mike here with a Pepsi, better than a 3-in-1. Better than a 3-in-1.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
They're probably both about the same quality of beverage.
So I look at my laptop, it's like updates and do this and
because you're using the desktop now.
Yeah.
So when you turn this thing on like once a week?
Yeah.
Right? Saturdays?
It's relegated to the studio now. This is the studio machine.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Up top.
Boom.
I'm a studio DJ now.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So let's talk about. We got Joe P in the comments. What
Joe's here? That's so. Dude, hold on. He has. Do you have COVID, Joe?
He does.
Dude.
He told me he woke up the other night. He couldn't breathe.
He told you this?
Yeah.
That's kind of like texting you saying, I'm asleep.
Yeah. No.
Like, how do
he's
you.
Like, the other night I woke up. I couldn't breathe.
And
now he can breathe.
No more detail other than just like I couldn't breathe?
I was like, you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
So momentary lapse in oxygen.
I think he was having trouble, like.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of frightening.
So those lucky strikes.
LSMFT. You know what that stands for?
No.
Lucky strike means fine tobacco, baby.
Yeah. So, Mr. Mitch, what's going on? So, actually, talking about studio, we had kind of a revelation yesterday.
Yeah, and thank you. And here's the thing, guys, if you don't do this, like if you don't have a business or something or a passion or whatever and talk about it with someone who you love and respect, you're missing out. Because you and I, we have, we share a brain.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's Jib's brain. Because otherwise, there would be a lot of
problems.
Inappropriate.com would be our next domain. Fuck Bangkok Strange. But, yeah, so we're hanging out, and as we do, we talk about what you're doing, what I'm doing.
What you're doing,
and obviously for me, other than this, effectively, because I'm not doing really YouTube anymore, is bkk.fm. So we went over to this potential studio, and for a while I've been like, okay, do I have a studio here? I want one here.
Real quick, my boy Kendrick is in the chat. Kendrick, what's going on, bro?
Where's he from?
He'll be coming here soon. We're old Army buddies.
From?
He's in Massachusetts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he'll be relocating here soon, and I'm working to loop him into something I've got going on. So
right. Yeah. And we were talking about that yesterday as well.
There'll be more detail on that in the future. But yeah, Kendrick, man, thanks for coming by, brother.
So we're checking out.
Tell your girlfriend not to get offended, please.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, if you listen to the end and you're not offended, then
we've done something wrong.
Go back to the beginning. You missed it. So we're looking at this like studio, right? And then there's this woman who I met the other day who's got this
Paula, right?
Food truck, Paula, yeah, with her or Aquafina, as I like to call her.
She is kind of like a Thai Aquafina,
dude, with the mask on, and her hair,
crazy makeup,
and the way that she speaks, like her voice. I'm like, you sound like Aqua, Anyway, so
she got a ton of makeup on.
It was a little excessive, yeah. And then she had like the streak.
She's no Rose.
No. I would hang out with Paula.
Yeah.
I mean,
she seems cool.
She's totally cool.
She's gonna be like, what, 50?
Probably, yeah. Which means she looks 38.
Yeah, she's wild.
Yeah, exactly.
But out there.
But the cool thing, right? It's like her passion. I think the reason that you and I hung out there so long, which is we went there a half an hour, but we talked to her for a while, is because her passion for her freaking food truck equals ours
for
our things, And so we're looking at this truck, and if you guys don't know, right? I mean, I'm sure you've seen them everywhere.
It's a Suzuki Carry is what she has.
Yeah,
it's a mini food truck.
And and the way that most food, right? The sides flip up, and then it's an open area inside, usually a kitchen or whatever.
So I'm 185 centimeters. She let me get in the back of her food truck. Mm-hmm. It's 186 centimeters.
Totally, dude. Yeah, because if you would arch your, forget it.
So this is the thing. So when we're sitting, I look to be about like 3 or 4 centimeters taller than Mike.
Slouch, yeah.
But it's also my strange body proportions.
Your body is high, your legs are short, yeah.
And when we stand up, Mike is actually about 5 centimeters taller than me.
Well, I don't know.
190, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 185.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a bit weird in reverse. Real quick.
Well, plus the shirt.
We got Dorman. Dave, what's going on? Gotta love Thailand. Mr. Mitch, of course, Joe P. We got Kendrick.
Patrick, good to see you.
Hugh's here. What's going on, Hugh? Patrick, what's up?
What's this little heart sticker on the floor?
It's probably one of the
Oh,
temperature
you
stickers
can
that
enter.
keep falling off me.
I have those.
I'm shedding everywhere.
I have those like all over my laptop. I put them on. I got them all over my keychain.
Yeah.
Like if you guys don't know, what happens is you enter basically pretty much any public area,
any mall, anywhere,
and they certainly if they do the thing to your forehead, the temperature sensor, then
they give you a sticker.
they have a sticker. Every day there's a different sticker,
different
color.
Yeah.
And some of them are big, and then there's but they basically just go through like RGB. That's pretty much all they're going
Joe
through.
Pinto hit me up with Joe, man. Thank you so much for the buy me a coffee already.
Jesus, I forget. I was looking over my domains yesterday actually, and I was thinking, what should I? Thank you so much, dude.
You're the man.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Oh, guys, real.
Oh no, he did. Oh no, that's okay. Good. Don't, Joe. Oh, you did. Shit.
I'm gonna throw
Thank
the banner
you, dude.
up.
I appreciate it.
So
It's all good. Look at that. Good. I'm glad it is, Joe. I'm glad you're feeling okay. My God, I was like really. I wasn't really concerned. I was just like, well, that sucks. It's probably
the whole
uncomfortable.
COVID thing. Where's my shop.bangkok strange thing? Oh, here it is.
Bangkok merch.
Yeah, so guys, if you're interested in the OG, I'm wearing it today, the OG Bangkok Strange. Sure, I'm gonna discontinue that design in March.
What's the new one? Go to the.
So it's the funky one that I said looks like a kung fu movie, and you're like, I don't see it. I've never watched a kung fu.
I've never watched a kung fu movie, probably.
So I'm gonna discontinue the old label design in March. So if you're interested in that design, go to the shop.bangkokstrange.com. You can get the old design while it is still available, and then we're going to be launching a whole new run of the kung fu movie.
Oh,
designs.
I got it. Okay, so there's the logo. Yeah. All right, that's cool.
So yes. So anyway, so Paula's got this truck.
So Paula's got this amazing truck, and then she's got this average pizza, but amazing. She's in the end of the day, the pizza's decent if you like buying pizza off of a truck. Okay,
it's truck pizza.
It's truck pizza, but the point is that her personality.
It's not
like,
New York truck pizza, but it's truck pizza.
I just don't like New York at all. So like, no matter what's available there.
You're a Boston guy. I mean, I get it.
Well,
fucking
not really.
Listen to me, Mikey.
Listen, there.
Fuck the Yankees.
Big
fuck New
D.
York. Fuck New York. They don't get Duncan there.
They didn't start it, that's for sure.
God damn.
Fucking bastard. No, but I mean, like, I'm not a big fan of Boston. I like where I grew up, which is a suburb in Massachusetts of Means.
The Hinghams.
Yeah. And
it's
nice.
It's no Revere.
No, it's not.
You don't get no Kelly's roast beef up there in Hinghams, do you?
Up near Lynn.
Nah.
Lynn, the woman of sin. You ever come
Oh.
out the way you went in? Fucking Jesus with your eye rock.
I fucking love Lynn.
She had T-tops, though.
Yeah. indeed.
Fucking T-tops. She parked that thing anywhere.
That's what I used to call it.
What's that?
Little
That
boss to be,
commercial
guys.
is so amazing. You can say that anywhere in the United States. Everyone knows
We
what
got
you
Jib in the comments as well. Jib's downstairs working today. Jib said she's not going to pop up to the studio. However, experience teaches me anything. It's that as soon as we fuck up some detail about Bangkok
or
Jib-
Thailand
or
in general,
Jib will be up here.
She's
yeah.
actually quite quick to remind us of her heritage, which is quite frankly, it's,
I just realized I didn't
pretty good.
preload the
are we even broadcasting?
We're broadcasting, but no color.
I mean, I'm not
profile.
wearing pants, for God's sake.
That's how I know we're broadcasting.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Jesus Christ, Mikey.
So
There
she's-
we go. A
so
little
she's
bit
got
more
this,
texture in the photo.
She's got this food truck. And again, if you've ever been to like any major city in the United States, you've obviously seen a van or a truck or something with the local radio station's call letters on the side of it.
Yeah.
At a minimum, it's like a van. They just huck t-shirts in and then drive around.
It's a station wagon.
So in San Diego, we had this thing called the Surf Pig, which was a 1971 purple Cadillac convertible.
Nice.
Always broke down, but it was friggin' awesome. And then we had like
Purple.
2 or 3 PT Cruisers, the disposable cars with a kickstand that come from Dodge, and then of course we had the vans, but we also had actually a giant 5th wheel trailer for like remote broadcasts.
Yeah.
So we're looking at this thing, and I didn't really think anything of it, and then we didn't really talk about it, and then on the way home you send me a message like, dude, you just got to get one of these things, throw the radio studio in it, stop looking for. Well, you didn't say that, but I said, yeah, I should probably stop looking for real estate.
Well, you mentioned that you were like, I don't know, when we were at the place.
Yeah.
I'm walking home. I'm walking down 93, and I'm like, fuck. Like, so what happens? I see one of the little reds go by, little blue,
Mm-hmm.
and little blue is essentially a small version of the truck that she has for a food truck. It's a Suzuki
Yeah, it's even a
Carry.
smaller. Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, he doesn't need a studio.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you bought a studio, that truck new is like what, 320.
Yeah, brand new.
Brand new.
Mhm.
320.
Mhm.
It's about $10,000 US.
Yeah.
The back, I looked it up, is about 45,000 baht.
Okay.
So just over $1,500 bucks. Yeah. Now to wrap the whole thing in vinyl, you're looking like $500.
You think?
Yeah. Now
I need a place for that, by the way.
all of that. Well, you can park it anywhere.
No. For the wrap, I need a wrap company.
Oh yeah, there's a few I know.
Because Jib mentioned MBK.
That's just for a tarp.
Yeah, to get the tarp.
No, you got to go to like one of the outskirt places in the city where they pull it in. They do the whole wrap.
Okay.
But listen, so it's just to set up a new studio. If you rented, let's say that place in True Digital Park, right?
Yeah,
we know what Paul is paying because she told us.
Yeah.
And that includes electricity. So that's an amazing deal.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Especially because she's running 2 pizza ovens, electric pizza ovens.
It's also the same that she pays over to Habito.
Yeah. Well, she said no, Habito's less.
Wow.
Yeah. She said Habito's never been as expensive as True Digital Park.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well.
So, but let's say that downstairs location, corner, as big as that is, you're probably looking at least $100K a month.
I would think.
Then $100K baht, $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Then you've got to spec out an entire studio in there. You've got to build it.
Yeah, but I would have to get some of this. I would have to get some soundproofing
and better soundproofing than this that looks decent.
Yeah. I mean, that's the rub.
You'd have to get the squares I've got back here, which are not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, again, I still have, many ideas, but the thing that I always wanted to do with an internet radio station is not be real local. And of course, having a single piece of real estate, right? I mean, that ties you down. So I liked the truck idea, and actually Google it and show the guys what we're talking about, because there's no way, like, if I was back home, I would know what the hell a Suzuki Carry is.
Yeah. Okay. Let me open it.
So that's a really cool option, because then, you get out into the community, right? Like with the station and that sort of thing. Oh, here's a question. Can I drive down Sukhumvit with the radio cranked?
Yeah. I see trucks doing it all the time.
I mean, right? It's just as long as it's probably not 3 a.m. in front of them.
I'm pretty sure 3 a.m. you'd be fine.
They'd be like, oh yeah, well, of course he is.
But think about, so you don't get this where you live because you're up in the condo, right? But we're here, we get people who fucking drive around and they're blasting. I'm gonna pull this one up.
That's a good one.
It's a better view, I think.
Yeah, because the back and then the sides.
Yeah. So we get people who drive around here all time of the day with their fucking trucks and speakers on the top.
Yeah, selling watermelons.
Sawadi crop, Tangmo, you sit bot in the crop. Tangmo, you sit bot in the crop, Sawadi crop.
And it loops, and it loops. It's friggin' awesome.
And I'm just like, no. Yeah, here we go. What I love is I can just share a Chrome tab.
Yeah.
Can you do that on Swift?
What? Oh, shuffle?
Shuffle, yeah.
Well, short answer is yes, but I mean, they don't have it,
So guys, here's the beta. Suzuki Carry. So it's basically the inside of this 85C, right? It has an air conditioner, right? So you can run that aircon. She didn't have the aircon unit set up because she has the pizza ovens.
She has the pizza ovens where the AC is. Yeah, right.
So he could basically put a DJ booth in here, and they have ones with a door in the back. So this one opens completely. You get better airflow, but
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You can set up however you want. So you could get into this, wrap it in the BKK.FM logo and whatever. Pipe in monitors right out the back.
Oh yeah.
Lights mounted to the roof.
Totally, dude.
Pull this up into a food truck spot, and they're easy. They're so small, they're easy to navigate in the city.
Yeah, and a lot of the food trucks are the US version, so they're wider. So this is tiny, man. Yeah, super tiny.
Pull this in anywhere, you're good to go. So usually in the US, a food truck's what they call a bread truck.
Yeah, right.
A step van,
flat step. Yeah, exactly.
So this is way better option in my opinion. And again, it easy to secure, right? You pull your decks out at the end of the night, you walk upstairs, and then if you want to go do a show or you want to bring a DJ somewhere, plug your equipment in.
And that would, and the cool thing about it would be, I think, is the fact that I could bring in DJs that didn't necessarily have a gig that day, if you will, and they could do, I mean, if they wanted to actually, spin. Obviously, most of this stuff is in a laptop, right? Or in a server. But,
oh, snap. Look who we got in the chat.
Oh, hey, honey, good to see you. Yeah, so great. So you want to know that story?
Yeah, I do. So Gracie may soon be a resident of the Big Mango.
Oh no, none of this May nonsense.
Well,
It's an absolute, but I mean,
the way I know that you're stressing over the details and that the Filipino government can fuck you at any moment.
I will tell you that I mean, what do I always say? The Philippines is incompetent,
yes.
right? And I was concerned. So basically, Gracie went up. She went up to Manila on the 21st of February with a reservation March 10th to come over here, because I'm like, okay, I got to give plenty of time. So we go up there, and if you guys haven't gone through the process of like having to get a visa and then your certificate of entry, the certificate of entry process right now is actually quite streamlined, in the sense that you go to a website hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You fill out most of the information, meaning that you say, this is when I'm coming, and this is my passport. That's like the minimum you need to do. There's another text box that you can upload things where it basically says any additional things that you believe would help us make our decision. So of course I'm like, well, that's fine. I'll upload the hotel reservation, I'll upload the plane reservation, and I'll upload the insurance. What's the downside? So they're supposed to take 3 days to approve this. And I'm like, okay, this is what basically the Thai embassy in Washington, D.C. will commit to 3 days. So I'm thinking, okay, Philippines, we'll go for a week. 2 days later, she gets an email saying you've been pre-approved.
Nice.
I said, this is a good start, Philippines. The other thing, too, though, that's kind of really pushed us along, because remember how we were, intentionally delaying it because of things, was the fact that I went to the Thai embassy website, the Thai embassy in Manila website, and they had updated everything as of January 25th. And before that, it had been updated from 2016. And so I was like, okay,
classic.
Yeah. I said, this is really good news, plus the fact that she only needed to have $1,000 to get the visa. Not to mention the fact that technically she doesn't need a visa to get here. She can come in, visa exempt. But long term, as you might guess, right? I want to spend the rest of my life with her. And so therefore marriage obviously is
day one in country.
It's going to be real close because again, that process is going to be.
Using Tom for that? No. You're just going to do it yourself?
No.
Oh, you get someone else. Oh, you're a lawyer.
Well, maybe, but I've gone down that route once. And I don't need to do the wrong thing twice, obviously.
Tom, I know you had the 90-day issue, which I've never had, which was strange, but yeah, as far as the whole marriage thing, easy peasy. Yeah.
And well, no, I mean, it's okay. Yes, for you and me. Yeah. We go to the U.S. Embassy and say, yeah, I swear that I'm basically wearing a really bitchin' shirt and that sort of thing. They're like, okay, great. Give us $50. We'll stamp it and totally say you've just told the truth.
Yeah, whatever you want.
We believe that you are you and you can basically do this.
Yeah. No legal implications at all.
Yeah. I have the right to get married. Okay, if you say so. Gracie in the Philippines needed to go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Or Department of Foreign Affairs, DFA. She needed to go to immigration. She needed to get a business permit. She needed to get a piece of paper that says she's never been married, that she's single, that she had to go to their version of the FBI and get a,
criminal
background check. And she needs to do a lot of this every year for her business. So
real quick, before we get too into it, sorry, I want to remove that from the stream. Stop sharing. Friend of the show, Eric, aka Minority Nomad, his birthday yesterday.
Really? Yeah. Hey, right on, dude.
He's been raging all week.
He's been raging all year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he took a break. It took a little break after the last episode the first episode.
He took a break to come over here to say, man, thank God I took a break. I'm back at it. That was basically the summary.
So he's been raging. He rages all month for his birthday, which I find insane. That's like a whole month of lost productivity.
How old is he?
38, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could do that probably at 38. Well, I mean, I would have died at 25 if I continued, but the point is that yeah, I mean, I guess if
I had to, but I mean, at the same time, like a whole month of raging is a bit.
Well, it's funny you mentioned he's going to lose productivity, right? But again, isn't that sort of his life? Like his life is like going out and like partying and then putting it up on YouTube and
no, not partying, putting it up. He's much more
eating food,
eating and traveling around. But I mean, he's most of the time, Eric is crazy productivity driven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Huh. So like his level of productivity through the roof most of the time.
Well, see, I've only known him basically since COVID.
Yeah.
And I would not have labeled him that way.
No, because COVID is obviously
he
was fortunate that he was here when COVID hit.
So he didn't have to go
as
somewhere
opposed
else.
to like if he was
US.
Well, he was supposed to be in Europe, and like a few things shifted.
That would have sucked too.
Yeah, and then he doesn't have really a base in Europe. His base is here
At the base, up top. See what I did?
Actually,
just
is it
How
the
you
base,
doing? Papito.
But yeah, he's got some interest. Like I said, he's usually very productivity driven, which I admire the hell out of him for that.
Well, I mean, for you and me, we just see that we like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're fucking lazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's very true. If you're not working on it all day, every day.
Yeah, you know, it's funny too, because like recently I was talking to someone. They're like, oh yeah, it's a 6-day-a-week job or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, 6 days a week. They're like, well, what do you do on Saturday? Well, I go over to Dana's. I mean, it's not a job though, you know, but then I was like, wait, I'm like making an excuse. Cause I mean, this is sort of, it's a commitment that we follow through on to the best of our ability.
At least 40%. 40% of the time we follow through every time.
You know what's crazy is like if it was just you doing the show, you probably never notice because you're like, oh, I'm just sick today, no big deal.
Yeah.
With two people, you get sick and then you get well, and then my back goes out.
Yeah.
And then I can't make it. Then you get an ear infection.
Yeah.
And then my
ears are like, I got the seal of approval from the doctor. My ears are good.
Okay, so you're done with your regimen of basically weekly cleaning, right?
Cleaning, removing dead cells, like abrading skin. So like done.
So like your expectation is you will not get an ear infection for like a year.
Well, I mean, that's the hope, and also that my hearing is amazing right now.
Okay, nice, good.
So
I don't need to yell then. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, right. Like that's gonna happen.
How you doing?
Do I need to get to the effects panel?
Oh, shit. No.
17 hours later.
God, it's like, what did you guys do? Well, when we were 8 years old and we were in Dana's studio,
turning the effects panel up all day.
It's a good thing. It's a very good thing.
Yeah, so I'm good with the ears. But yeah, last week was weird though. It's like I felt like I didn't even sleep. I came upstairs after that and I slept until like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but you went to bed at like 11.
Yeah.
Which is because I figured, because you're a night owlish guy.
Yeah.
Like in this morning, I just like woke up and started doing stuff. And then I look up at the clock, it's 4:45.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's you.
Yeah. But it was great because it was like, I look up again at 7:15. I had moved 3 of my domains to a different provider. I had updated my Linux server. I had added an FFmpeg streamer to it.
Who are you hosting with?
AWS. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, for your domains.
What's up? So right now I've moved over to Namecheap. Here's what a lot of people on YouTube don't tell you about moving to Thailand. There are companies that you will need to interface with over here that were very easy to interface with in the United States because they were awake when you were awake.
Not the case.
No. Hover, who I have used for years, which before that was 2 Cows, and 2 Cows was like one of the first.
I remember 2 Cows.
And that's still their, umbrella company name. They bought a whole bunch of other brands. But it was like, first of all, it was only Internic.
Yeah.
And that's the only plan. And each domain was like $900. It's $100, $99.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Like in the late 80s. And then they opened it up a little. And then, of course, ICANN came along, and then anybody could be a registrar effectively.
Yeah.
So, but they've been around forever, and I've been registering with those guys forever. Their DNS crapped out. And I'm like,
wait.
No shit. Exactly. Anyone who knows how to spell IT knows that all you need are 5 fucking DNS servers for 100% uptime. And I'm like, are you shitting me? My website's offline.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm like, dude, DNS has been around since the earth cooled.
Yeah, I don't know how your DNS goes down if you're a provider.
So
I park all my domains at Google now. I used to use
Enom is there. Yeah,
I used to use other services, and then once I moved all of my business stuff over to the Google Suite, it just makes total sense to integrate everything over there. Like even the Bangkok Strange website is hosted up on a Google
page.
Sites.
Sites.
Well, they changed it from page to site.
Whatever. Yeah. I don't like that. I think it's horrible. Actually,
it's not great, but I mean, it's an easy place for us. To park.
And concerning what we need to do with the site, right, it's perfect. But
obviously not. It's not slick. There's not a ton of integration. Mariano's like, you can't do nothing with SEO. He's like, I can't help you.
No, of course
Google Sites.
No.
And eventually we'll throw it up on somewhere that allows us to do a little bit more.
I always sort of default to WordPress simply because like I can hire some guy in Upwork for like less than $200.
So you think?
Well, no. See, again, I've done. If I say $5, then you're like, yeah, sure, Mike. But no, every time
I saw your mango smoothie logo.
I really. I don't know. It was an interesting exercise. I mean, that at least 51% of it was to see exactly what I would get.
Yeah, and a lot of it was discussing how you discuss
the output
design.
was gross. Yeah.
Yeah, the output was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, even for $5.
Again, it wasn't really output.
Sometimes you get what you pay for. Sometimes you get Fiverr.
Yeah. But here's what's funny about Fiverr. I've made so much effing money on Fiverr.
Really?
Their stock is through the ceiling.
Is it?
It's friggin' awesome. Yeah.
I remember when it came out, there were people driving around with like logos.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, they dumped a ton of cash into the marketing. You gotta hand it to them.
No, but like you'd be like, hey, pay me $5 and I'll put your logo on the back of my car. I'm stuck in traffic in DC every day for like 4 hours.
Why not?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, if you're making $5 doing it.
So, but I mean, I'm an AWS guy, as you know.
I've heard you talk about this.
Mildly. Well, I've made money with them too.
Well,
but
you're about to be a Huawei guy.
So okay,
Alibaba guy.
So Alibaba. I'm a huge Alibaba. Oh my god! And what's awesome is they just got slapped with like some sanctions or something like this by the government.
Yeah, I got slapped. Oh, never mind.
Did you the other day? Up top, good man. But everyone freaks out. Like, oh my god, the company's gonna fold because you're fucking delusional. Like when their IPO didn't launch, everyone's like, oh yeah, they're done. And their stock went to 230. I'm like, yes.
Well,
and
today, in 1998, if you told me a company missed their IPO, I'd be like, yeah, they're done. No, today Alibaba,
wait 1 quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, and so this morning I was so stoked. Their stock is down to 137.
You buying more?
Oh, dude! 5 years from now, it's going to be $1,500.
You think it's going to be 15?
Yes. Tell me something that Alibaba has not done successfully that was already done by Amazon.com. All they do is watch what happens and replicate it and then iterate.
I'm trying to think because I don't have 100% optics on Alibaba, obviously.
Most people don't know of Taobao and Tmall, right? Because we don't use that here.
But I mean, I know that
it's a cash cow.
When they launched their grocery store, it was like through the roof.
Yeah, what's that called? Well, they also had brick and mortars too.
So, but they launched a brick and mortar grocery store, but it's like a go in, buy your food, and they cook it for you there. And you eat it.
Or you walk around and order, walk home, bam, food shows up.
Yeah, no, but they have the place where they'll cook it for you. Like I saw people ordering like squid.
Right. They showed
veggies.
That video with Jack in front of all the fish. Yeah. He was a good spokesman for a while.
What was he doing? Movies now?
Oh wait, hold on. Do we need to address the fact that Joe fully supports me having north of a dozen ladyboys near my DJ truck?
I threw that up for a little while, and I
saw it there, but we completely
20 ladyboys.
20. See, he knows what time it is.
He knows what's up.
He knows what time it is. Thank you guys for saying hello to Gracie. I really appreciate that. I'm honored. Thank you.
Boom. Get Mike and a DJ. 2 DJ in it with 20 ladyboys. Give Mike a hell yes if you want, a thumbs up if you want to see
hell yes,
my man. Boom.
That's what I'm talking about.
I know you're all about the ladyboys.
You know what I love about them is that no matter how many I would hang out with,
Hike, are you sure you're still not on AOL down there in Alabama?
I think that's all they have. Actually, he probably has the tin with the CD in it. That's probably how he gets.
That's the high class AOL. If you get the tin. I lived in a ghetto. A shitty blue collar neighborhood. I got the little, I got the plastic envelope.
Did you ever join them? I mean, did you ever pay them? And then, oh my God, canceling AOL is you have to have commitment.
That's why people are still paying today.
Pretty much. I remember when I left to come here, I canceled Sirius XM. Right? Yeah. And they do not want you to cancel. They will do anything to the point where they'll put you on hold. Oh, I'm really sorry it hung up. I mean, it's offensive, right?
Yeah.
So this, hold on, let me put you on hold, blah, 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 comes back like 2 or 3 times. And she came back a second time. Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm like, look, let's be clear. You're not sorry at all. There is a script in front of you and you're supposed to delay this like crazy. I said, but I am canceling this because I've been able to cancel AOL. So you're delusional if you think this is bugging me. I got this, lady.
Good to go.
So, but yeah. So anyway, the thing I like about ladyboys is the fact that I can basically hang out with as many as I want that are totally gorgeous. And there's no way Gracie's jealous. Because she's a fact, like they're guys.
Well, who knows? In some people's mind warps.
Yeah, I guess. Right? I suppose.
I have a few people in my peripheral who I think maybe have switch hit it a few times.
Like Chad. I mean, he documented it.
Well, I don't know that he actually.
I mean, someone's gargling his grandchildren down there in fucking Pattaya driving a go-kart.
Well, she wanted to. But I think we know some people in the same circle that may have dipped their toes, if you will, into the.
We need to talk about
pool.
How the leadership is moving to Cambodia, actually, because you're deeper invested than I am.
So
you've got what? That's where all the money's coming from right now,
supposedly.
No, yeah. I mean, Casacorn, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens.
He's going to give he's supposed to give, like the actual stock certificate thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the documentation and stuff, but this is, the thing with the gold seal and all that nonsense. But I don't know. I mean, I think there's a possibility that it could turn, profitable.
So you're supposed to get an actual stock certificate.
Mm-hmm.
I better push for mine.
Yeah, just email him. Say, hey, I was talking to Mike.
Before he decides to like undo my equity in some shady way.
He's down. Yeah. I am definitely going to take Gracie. I've been staring.
So yeah, I'm a little concerned about.
Which is how we met.
Yeah, and 5 years ago,
An embassy.
What color is Mike's hair? Turns with the direction, like ability of the leadership to grow it.
Yeah,
and
it believes that Ladyboys raided the studio. Why is last to the internet? And you've got a fairly good lap. And we determined that the five. Well, yeah, because I did the speed test on the 2.4. All right, so some people dumped out.
Back. So you guys let us.
So fucking frustrating.
That is strange.
What did you share, Mr. Mitch? Go-kart Ladyboys? Well, I mean, it's Jib. Jib can get it from downstairs, right?
Down to 4 watching.
Wow. Are we that shitty? Whoop.
So this is the thing. I see the comments coming in.
No, Wi-Fi is dead. Well, hold on.
Because look, that's you.
Yeah, I know from before.
Oh, is that from before?
Well, I mean, we're like, it's skipping. Let me go over to because I'm streaming all over the place. Let me go over to Facebook.
So I think this is actually from StreamYard because
like they don't have any over here. I'm like, dude, CloudFront, would you fucking focus?
So I think it's StreamYard because I still see the comments coming in.
Yeah, but where are we at? 6 views, dude. What the hell is our problem?
No, we had 14 people at one point, so the view comment.
Let me go to my homepage and find out if I.
So guys, throw in the comments now.
We should be over on my Facebook. Yeah. All right. So we're working over there. Oh my God! Look at all these hearts. Oh, I need to let the guys know that when I'm on Facebook, I can't see the comments. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry.
The goal is to basically get all you guys over here to YouTube, but of course, to do that, I wanted to hit all the other platforms.
So actually, guys, I don't think that was an internet issue. I think that was a StreamYard issue. Because we were on Facebook and I still saw comments coming in.
Well, I can look at the logs because I mean, again, because you're doing RTMP directly from here, that doesn't squirt through StreamYard. Thank friggin' God. So it goes right out of your machine.
Yeah. So Howard says keeps buffering.
Fuck. Do you have no idea how much that pisses me off?
Yeah.
We need to get an M1 up here.
That would be nice. I don't think the M1 helps. I think
is it 930 by any chance?
935.
Here's why I ask. I used to do live streams at my house regularly. And I would start about 8, whatever. Cruising along, 930.
Boom.
And I'm thinking, okay, it's my building.
I do them from downstairs on Mondays. I have no issue.
It's because you do it from downstairs. You do it on your desktop?
Yeah.
It's a cray that you have on your desktop downstairs. I mean, how old is this? 2 years old?
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, that's a pretty awesome machine, but still.
It's no M1.
It's no M1, dude.
My man.
Guess what other stock is doing? Fucking amazing.
Apple.
How you doing?
Always do. Have you seen
Wait till their electric car comes out.
Have you seen the memes that say, or the infographics that show you what you would make in Apple stock if you invested what Apple products cost in the stock?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. You have millions. Yeah, for sure.
Stupid.
When their electric car comes out, I submit to you, it will be more popular and more sought after than the iPhone.
Really?
Yes.
Who are they partnering with for the electric car?
Well, I mean, they hired a bunch of guys away from Google, right? What was the Google project? I can't even remember what it's called.
Oh, the driverless car.
No, not the silly little Prius. They had their own sort of electric.
The Google car. It was a 3D printed exterior actually, but I don't know who they bought.
I can't remember what it's called.
I know that
like
from what I heard, Apple is in talks with an auto manufacturer for a partnership for the electric car.
Well, that would be wise. Yeah,
makes sense.
Right. I mean, it's not like they actually make the iPhone.
Tesla.
No. And the culture, it would take. If you're a leader and you can swing Apple to be a Tesla, you're a fucking genius. Yeah. But not happening. Not happening. Because you
culture,
because again, founder-led companies,
yeah,
right? I mean, the Apple of Steve Jobs, huge delta,
to
Mr. Cook. But to be fair, When Cook showed up, I'm like, oh, I'm giving all my money to this guy.
Well, I mean, so this is the thing. Good transition of leadership from any company,
Super difficult.
from any startup.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Apple had been through one previously.
Yeah, they already were
famously.
like, look, dude, you're fucking out of here.
And then they're like, please come back.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, again, it wasn't like, please come back and you're the same guy.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, you've worked on yourself.
Pixar, yeah.
Big, yeah. And you've also got smacked in the nuts next.
Yeah. So,
loser.
But I mean, a successful transition of power is really the hallmark or the gold standard of a company that's going to at least outlast its founders.
That's another reason why I believe in Alibaba, because they had the cheerleader. Everyone still knows Jack Ma, right? And no one knows the current president or the current CEO. I mean, he's still on the board, much like Bezos is still executive chairman. To the extent with Microsoft as well, they're on their third CEO now. Totally, yeah. Yeah, and this, remember Ballmer? Dude, he used to come out. I don't know, dude. Exactly. I don't know if you ever saw it. Do you remember when Bitcoin was like just exploding in 2017? Yeah. There's a guy that came out on stage. He has a microphone. He goes, "BitConnect." Do you remember that? Yeah. Total fucking pyramid scheme. Completely went to jail and all this. But everyone used to play that video, BitConnect. And I was like, oh my god, it's fucking Ballmer's programmers. Cousin. Woo! He was, and then 5 minutes in, sweating like a friggin' pig. He's amazing. Patrick says, so glad I'm a millennial and never had to experience dial-up. We literally beaming the signal from BKK to Dallas. Yeah, I'm grateful. Hey, Patrick, so that's a good question. So yeah, how's Dallas right now, man? Well, I mean, I'm sure it's warmer, of course, but you guys probably are buying electricity from the Mexicans. But what was the slowest speed you ever experienced? Because for me, it was 150 baud dial-up acoustic coupler. I think that was the slowest. 14.4. 14.4. Yeah. Okay. Like I didn't have a computer when 9.6s were big. Oh, okay. So 14.4 was my first, and I got 28.8, 56.6. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Hike's looking forward to Cornelius Lowe. So when is that interview, by the way? Tonight, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Yeah. Bangkok. Okay, cool. 10 p.m. Malaysia time. I saw on Twitter it's been getting some traction with the wrestling community. Well, I mean, again, I can understand why. Yeah. Obviously, his shtick, I can understand. If you like wrestling, you might like that sort of thing. I love that he's so into kayfabe. Like, he won't do an interview. He won't even meet me out without his mask. I would consider us friends. We have conversations about other projects online, but he's like, yeah, mask. Well, Starbucks. Welcome to 1970, Gene Simmons. I mean, it's not like this has never been done before. I mean, I can appreciate his commitment. No, yeah, but I'm saying in wrestling world today, there's such a blurred line between reality and kayfabe. Like people, the fourth wall is broken permanently. But isn't he's not the only guy with a mask. No, but there's not many. He's probably the only guy that comes out and meets me at Starbucks with a mask. Seriously, guys take it off? Yeah, they only wear it like when they're wrestling. Maybe like luchadors maybe protect because it's a cultural thing. Mm-hmm. Luchadors protect their personality outside the ring, but in modern wrestling, like MyPW, Malaysian Pro Wrestling, is a modern wrestling organization where there's still a separation between real life and kayfabe, and there's these characters they blend quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So. And they have these separations where people have public personalities separate from their wrestling personality now. Oh, okay. But for Cornelius, it's all the time. Yeah. And I love that about him. Yeah, no, I mean, the commitment is pretty awesome. Yeah. And the fact that he dances around in tights for a living, I mean, no judgment, but I prefer ladyboys versus male wrestlers. Joe says he had 3 squirrels for internet when he was a kid. Nice. That's pretty good. That's good. Yeah. No pigeons, Joe? Can carrier pigeons? No, he was born in the squirrel hour. They were able to run them short distance. That's pretty good. Of course, you remember SneakerNet back in the day. Yeah. I remember bringing discs to school and handing them off to friends. Like hey, check this out. I hacked this last night. Oh, on the 144s. Yeah, no, we had the 144, the hard disk. Yeah. Like, hey man, I hacked this game last night. 7.5. Yeah, you had the and then we went to 5 1/4, and of course the trick with the 5 1/4 is you got a hole punch and you put a hole on the other side, and then of course you could actually use double-sided. Yeah, which was insane, really, right? I mean, it's like the whole thing was designed. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty amazing where stuff is gone for sure. in a number of areas, not the least of which is technology. But I mean, there's also like these things like blinding flash is the obvious. Like now that the M1 is out,
Yeah.
I think to myself, why the fuck did it take them so long?
You know what's crazy? Well, obviously development integration. They thought.
No, I mean the world in general.
Intel was gonna do this for them.
That's yeah. Well, yeah, but why did AMD? Weren't they like, oh, dude, we are so doing this if Intel's not? I mean, it's very bizarre.
We're gonna have Apple's business, yeah.
I mean, what's the downside? You know,
I think, it's funny because there's always, Moore's law,
which I don't know how true it is anymore.
Well,
I think.
Well, here's the thing: they're always like, well, we're about to get to the point where Moore's law is no longer applicable.
Well, plus he's from Intel.
No, but
so it's a little biased, right?
It is, but it's held true.
Fairly,
and then for probably a decade, we've been, we're about to be to a point where Moore's law is no longer applicable because we've hit a plateau.
Oh, is that what they say?
Yeah.
I thought they figured it just hockey stick and it's just going faster than Moore's law.
We thought we weren't going to be able to outpace with the technology because we had crammed so much onto a silicon wafer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So now it's like every couple of years, right when we think we're there, someone comes out like Apple and it's like, well, fuck, this changed the game.
Well, again, I mean, don't forget, all they're doing is taking a chip that's been wildly successful in mobile devices and they put it in a friggin' desktop.
They put steroids into it.
I mean,
they sent it to Tony Huge.
Yeah.
Tony sent it back. It's like, here you go.
There you go. What do you need?
Yeah.
He probably gave him a chest bump.
4,000 cores.
Actually, probably what he did is he probably taped it to like
his chest.
I was going to say Rose's head, and because it would look like glitter.
Well, now it's Ploy, right?
And then he
Ploy's
just
replaced Rose.
Oh yeah, she like moves down the.
Yeah, Rose moved down on the team Tony.
I mean, I get the whole like playboy-ness of that and why like there should be some admiration of that by you and I, simply because we have testosterone in our body.
But at the same time, it wouldn't be a happy life for me if I lived Tony's life.
No, I wouldn't want to do it at all.
Yeah.
Plus, go to the gym. What are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I mean,
I can sit in front of a computer and drink Diet Coke. No,
here's the other thing. It's like he's got these girlfriends who he clearly has very little relation with intellectually. Right? There's
from our vantage point.
From our vantage point, they clearly there to serve a purpose.
Yeah,
which is fine. That's his persona. That's
why he pays them.
Yeah. But
that mixer you bought with cash
yeah.
serves a purpose. It's got neat little knobs that you do this with.
The same thing.
He's got Rose, and he does this with her probably as well. Probably doesn't have the effects in it though. Yeah, she might squeal. Maybe. She might squeal. I think she could probably echo with the best of them.
I would imagine.
Up top on that.
On that.
Big giggity.
What's this one called?
Oh no! Don't touch it.
She's got the tremolo.
Yeah. Not tremolo.
Tremolo, whatever.
Tremolo? Jesus Christ there, Bobby. What, you get your fucking high school diploma at Sears Roebuck?
I did, yeah.
Mother of God. I hope you got a pair of tires with that thing. Fucking Jesus.
I saw Patrick pop
started using
internet actively in 2004. I think they had internet on my Motorola Razr around that time.
2000. Well, I mean, technically, yes, 2004. But I mean.
So 2004, you already had ADSL that was widely available. You already had cable. You had DOCSIS 1.0 that was widely available.
Yeah, I had cable at that. 2004.
You were in San Diego, so you had DOCSIS.
2004, I was deploying Wi-Fi in northern Baja, and in 2004, the unlicensed frequency band, right, 2.4, that was a licensed band in Mexico.
Yeah, so you tell me you were buying them up from China, shipping them to San Diego, and driving them in with
a sticker on it that said "Made in the USA."
Yeah,
zero duty. They were just like, "Oh yeah, you've already paid up the ass for this." I'm like,
NAFTA.
Sure. That was crazy.
So I think I started using the internet. For the first time I ever used the internet, I was on Gopher. And so we're talking 1991, 1992 time frame.
Yeah, that was, well, I mean, again,
we had early browsers.
Yeah, so I was using it before there was a browser. And then I remember when this Netscape thing came out, right?
It was mid-90s.
And it was, I was 91. I was using it then.
Yeah, but I
remember the exact lab.
Not in the real form that it was eventually.
Well, no, I mean, it's not like it was on mobile devices or anything like that.
No, but I mean, it wasn't like, so also HTML wasn't as developed by then, right? So hypertext, the whole idea of hypertext markup language was that, one, it's a great language. Excuse me, it's a great language to learn.
It's pretty lightweight.
Yeah. But from the same time, do you remember GeoCities? and everyone would code these horrific sites on GeoCities.
I don't know what it was. I know the name, but
Yeah.
I don't know what occurred on it.
It was basically free hosting, or you could pay for premium, but there's a lot of free hosting.
Yeah.
People would code these horrific HTML pages, and I mean horrific.
I remember doing, the reason I actually knew about it is because I was in this lab and we were doing this project where you were basically, it was assembler and you were moving bits back and forth for MIDI. So there was a keyboard and then you would ingest and then play it back. And I remember turning around and there was this guy who's at this giant Sun terminal, of course, Stanford University Network. If you don't know, but they might not. And he's like, he's got this like window open. And I'm like, what's going on over there? And he's like, oh, I'm talking to, and it's just like, wow, that's pretty hip. And then I thought, oh, that's fine. It'll catch on eventually.
I remember dialing into BBSs.
Oh, yeah. Long before there was the internet.
So in Rhode Island, we had ChowderNet.
Yeah, I don't know what
I used to play Legend of the Red Dragon on ChowderNet.
I mean, I was using email before I left for California. So that was 89. I had a ChowderNet, I had an internal BBS email at one point. And then I ended up getting, I think Hotmail was the big thing.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day. And I ended up with a Hotmail address.
Yeah.
So Patrick says he does remember the AOL CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were AOL and Prodigy Online.
And what's crazy is the Prodigy thing that lasted in Mexico for years. In fact, I think it's still, Prodigy.mx. It was huge down there. And it was weird too, because I was doing business down there. And you know how like now, like everyone kind of has a Gmail address. And of course, if they do have an email address that says AOL, you laugh at them, right?
Yeah.
And
you don't do business with those people.
Basically. And then in the US, if you had a Prodigy, you're like, dude, what the hell is your problem? But if you had Gmail, it's like, okay, you're kind of with it. Yahoo, yeah, I'm willing to tolerate you, that sort of thing. But in Mexico, it was Prodigy.
I don't remember. I don't email people with Yahoos anymore.
Not anymore, no. I mean, I don't, maybe I know like, 3 people maybe that have Yahoo.
I remember trying to make a Faraday cage out of a boatload of AOL discs. Nice.
Oh God, I made what was the last time we had one at the base of our transmitter site, and in fact, it was amazing. We had this paint. It was like this metallic paint that we used on the floor of the transmitter site, and you could literally take an ohm meter and like put one here and one here. Oh, nice! And you could like it was pretty sweet, ridiculously expensive paint, but we had a Faraday cage in there for some testing because the RF was so intense.
I was drinking at a bar in BKK in the late 90s, ended up partying with an Indian guy who kept trying to convince me that he was one of the creators of Hotmail.
Yeah. I would submit if you're the creator of Hotmail, you wouldn't bother caring to create,
Indeed.
Yeah. When did they sell? Or when did Microsoft buy them?
A Hotmail? Oh, in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was a while ago, right?
Yeah. And then they integrated, everything became a Microsoft login probably in 2010-ish.
The single sign-on thing, yeah.
Which I hate. Microsoft has implemented things so poorly.
Yeah, Skype. Jesus, that's such an abortion after they fucking took over that thing.
Skype used to be the de facto. People still say Skype, but Zoom has quickly become the de facto.
I sold way too early
on Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, that happens with a bunch of stuff.
So do you remember when the pandemic first hit, when the situation, guys, by the way,
that was so funny. That was so funny. We don't need to go down that road, but it was really funny.
Inside jokes. You got to love them.
Here's where, as far as I'm concerned, the day COVID started was March 13th. Because that's when Gracie left.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
fuck. That's when it got real for you?
Well, yeah, because it's like, okay, well, you have to go home because if you don't, you might not be able to. We didn't know there was going to be amnesty for visas.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you just like, well, you better get home. Otherwise.
But I think the thing do you remember when COVID first started, everyone was jumping on Zoom calls and they were like, oh, Zoom's compromised. It turned out to be user error. People were sharing their public IDs for joining meetings.
Yeah, no, they didn't have passwords.
No waiting rooms.
It's just like, dude, Jesus Christ.
And people were logging in and just playing porn.
I will tell you, though, that was one of the indications to me that this is going to be wildly successful because the stock went down when everyone's like, oh, my God, it's compromised. I'm like, you can hire, even if it wasn't. It wasn't. But even if it was, I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
All I got to do is hire the shit out of this. They're going to fix this in 2 weeks.
And it was user error.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you have to set a password for your meeting. You have to put a waiting room.
Right.
And don't share the link publicly. Not difficult.
Whatever you do, don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't touch this red button.
Don't put the link on Facebook for your meetings, or don't have the other thing. I have a premium Zoom account because I use it to record.
How much is that? It was like $30 a month.
Not even. I have the cheapest plan. I think I pay $1 something a year.
Oh yeah, you do that. Yeah, it's probably like $99 a year, huh?
And it allows. Yeah. I think the only thing I don't have the corporate features. I don't have rooms and all of that.
You can record though, right?
I can record.
That's nice.
And it's actually, if you put a background in, so if you use a 4K background on an image,
yeah,
it records the whole thing in 4K. You get these crazy huge files.
How is its green screen theory? Does it work well? Because I mean, it sucks.
No, because
StreamYard.
Here's the thing: most people. So they do AI extraction, so they can actually extract your background without a green
get rid
screen.
of the chair. Yeah.
But the thing is, it looks horrible because it's AI. And even if you have a good green screen, no one's lighting it right, or they.
So with a good green screen and with good lighting, StreamYard can look decent, but it's pretty obvious they're using it.
Yeah.
The fact that there is no green screen, and then they kind of get it out. I think Zoom. What's the other one? XSplit. I use that. And I guess that's free. And so they're doing a good job. The neat thing about that technology is like there's no way it's going to get worse, right? It's like it's AI. I mean, obviously it's going to get better. So I'm looking forward to that. But
Patrick says Microsoft Teams is definitely caught on. I don't know.
Dude, it has in the enterprise, and it's so shitty.
Shit. David, what's going on, man? You could sell IP addresses from AOL directly connect way back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So David and I used to work together. David's all gone nomad. He's driving all over the U.S. with his RV and his dog, living it up.
That, and then what was it? Van life, right? I mean, that became a real popular
I'm
YouTube.
waiting for David to drive his RV out here to Bangkok.
I mean, the shipping. Take it slow.
Park it up in Chiang Mai and open a drop shipping business.
Well, that's the beauty of Chiang Mai. I mean, I'm telling you right now. Plus the air quality. What are you fucking shitting me?
David, where are you at right now? Where are you spending winter? I saw you posted you had a quad out the other day or something.
Where did you guys meet?
We used to work together at Cox.
In Cleveland?
No, in Rhode Island.
Okay. So he probably realizes that there are much warmer places in the United States by now. Probably figured that out.
So I left for Cleveland. I think like maybe a year after I came to Bangkok, he ended up quitting and starting his own thing.
Worse weather in Cleveland or Rhode Island? Cleveland worse? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Rhode Island, you get reprieves. I mean, you get as much snow in both places, but Rhode Island, it's more mild in the winter compared to Cleveland, which is just hammer the fuck out of you, Midwest misery, and it's gray all year. Yeah, the gray, obviously, I couldn't handle the gray in San Diego. I mean, so it's like, which is funny too, because I wake up this morning and of course, it's gray. He's in Arizona from particulates. Nice. Enjoy up at elevation, or are you down somewhere? Yeah, Suburban Bear agrees, more sun in Rhode Island. So David actually he's a master of designing haunted houses. Huh. So there's an old, I believe, Navy fort or Army fort in Newport called Fort Adams. Okay. And David used to design their haunted fort every Halloween. Really? Yeah. Nice. Just like he's so into it. Like, should work for Disney, right? You gotta get, like, if you took David's like brilliance and passion for haunted attraction design and like put him with Suburban Beard and lights for Christmas. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, you get the two holidays. You just merge it into like something in November. So I'll tell you, if any of you guys have and Joe, I know it's not too much of a drive for you, but if you can get over to Disneyland or Disney World for Halloween, it is amazing. Hey, Greg. Magan's in the house. Dude, so actually the other day, last night, right before I went to bed, Irish Times posted an interview with this fighter named Alex. Yeah, he was doing a Muay Thai thing. So he's an American kid who fights MMA. Okay. But he posted a photo of him in a fight with Greg, and I was the MC for that fight. Recently? Greg, what was that, 2 years ago, maybe? Oh, and he just pulled something off YouTube. Yeah, he ripped it off of Martial Arts Thailand, threw it up. But Greg starched him in that fight. And so what does that mean? So he just knocked him out. But I mean, it lasted 2 seconds. I think early in the second round, Greg starched him. Nice. But it was funny that they just showed. Is that a fight term? I've never heard starched. Yeah. Okay. But because I've heard, dude, hey, that's choice. But I haven't heard that much out here. But of course, I heard that back east. Yeah, right? Starch is definitely a fight term. But yeah, Greg starched the guy in the first round, and then they were looking for Alex to make his pro debut, and I was like, hey, Greg, you should take that fight. So
What did he talk with the guy on his? I mean, because his interviews are a little dry.
I mean, I think he's developing his style, right? He's only done a few, so like,
But was this one better than the last one?
it was
Okay.
definitely
Good.
improved.
Good.
Also, I think the last one with Maddie, it was a bit strange where he did Maddie in Thailand, so it was a bit because Maddie's kind of all over the place, and so I think that energy threw Pete from
probably.
Harder Times Off.
Yeah.
Whereas Alex was more level, so it was easier for Pete to find his groove.
I had a few guys ping me, and if you're watching, I'm honored that they wanted me to go on their show. They wanted to interview me on like YouTube and stuff. And if you are listening, here's an important safety tip: is when you offer that, but then there's no follow through.
Yeah.
Traditionally, people will lose interest. Maybe I'm only speaking for myself. But it's like, yeah, I love the whole, yeah, dude, I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, why do I have the expectation that your follow through is that he? Come on,
Yeah, I get that all the time. Like, yeah, I'll follow up in a week. Yeah, well, I'm waiting.
And what's weird is every now and then I will actually call the person on it. I mean, not like, hey, you asshole. I'll just be like, you probably should have. I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like accountability is a bitch, dude. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How did you make it through life?
I guess like I've been trying to get on like different shows that I guess I was trying to get on, like say Dapper Villains, and like I'll reach out to them and just you're playing tag, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But
yeah, but I mean, you reach out to them.
Yeah.
So you're over communicating. I
Yes.
would admit, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
Right. And you and I, again, we share Jib's brain, and so it's interesting. I don't know if I mentioned this, but just want to interview you. I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. Is that I have a new price just for today. In fact, I think we should have a goal for today. If we sell 17 drop ship classes today for 40
come on guys, we gotta hit this goal.
Is Jib cooking downstairs? It smells great all of a sudden.
Hey babe, are you cooking lunch?
Jesus, that is like Thai food.
Or the house is on fire.
Could be. Yeah, and all of your spices are on fire,
Yeah.
just magically in a good mixture. Anyway, so you were talking about like Zoom and all that sort of thing. So absolutely, for at least 2 weeks, probably 3 Saturdays, we're going to need to do the show. I'm going to need to be remote because I've decided that I am going to be in quarantine when Gracie is in quarantine.
Yeah, but you can count my house as your quarantine.
No. I'm absolutely going to commit to this because, again, I feel as though it's like I'm sharing this with her.
Well, see, had you moved in across the street, you could have just walked across.
But your house isn't quarantined. I can't go out. Although after day 7, that's true. I could have come outside.
So I'm going to give you a pass on quarantine. You can just come here only.
I will tell you that there's a part of me that when I walked up this morning, I looked at the house and said, I could park that fucking van right there.
Absolutely, right in there. Pull that right in.
We actually should go out this afternoon before I leave and measure the height. Because I
know it will fit because they used to park their work truck in that driveway, which is taller.
And it was
than
a
the
carry
food truck.
It really,
yeah. It's
nice.
It's a Hilux that had the
extended
high top.
Well, because here's the thing: I look at that and I'm like, I can't. I mean, obviously, I can't live in my condo and do that.
Yeah.
Because I can't like work on it.
Right across the street. Right across the street.
Oh, but then I gotta buy furniture. I've already bought way too much shit
just
for my house.
All the stuff that you have into there, and then you figure out what you need. It's one IKEA trip.
That's the thing. I don't want to buy more. I don't want to buy any.
One IKEA trip.
Ugh.
You're good.
I don't want to own that shit.
Then you pay the guys to come over and set it up, and then you throw it away. Or you put it on Facebook. You put used IKEA furniture on Facebook Marketplace, it's gone in a day.
I know, but I just don't want to.
You want it.
I don't. But it's only got the one AC unit.
Yeah, you put one in. 10,000 baht. You put a small one in.
I was thinking about stuff like that, and because this last month I haven't traveled at all, right? Because guys, they always ask. I mean, what does it cost to live in Bangkok? Right?
Depends on where you want to live.
Depends where you want to live. Depends what you want to do. You can spend $10,000 a month very easily. But the point is that I usually spend about $2,500 a month to live the way I live. And even this month, without traveling and staying home a significant amount, so my electric bill is a little bit more, but not much. This morning, after like the flights and the hotel and everything
hold on,
for
one
Gracie,
second. Mariano's saying that it wasn't scheduled yesterday at 1:30 a.m. our time.
What wasn't?
Are you saying this live stream wasn't scheduled, Mariano?
You threw it up last night, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I threw it up last night.
I checked yesterday at 7. Yeah, you scheduled it before 1:30 our time.
Yeah.
What?
That's strange.
Well, I mean, dude, it's not like we don't experience the fact that friggin' YouTube doesn't notify subscribers that you're live. That would piss me off all the time.
Yeah, Mariano, did you look on the page or did you just look into your notifications? Because
the notifications, it will not show up proactively.
Because if StreamYard did not push it, I'll be a little pissed.
I don't know how I could test that.
Yeah. I didn't look at the page after I scheduled it, to be honest.
Well, yeah, because with StreamYard, you just next finish, and then they're like, yeah, you're good.
You checked the page? No, Patrick didn't see it scheduled till an hour before. Yeah.
An hour before? What? I think, well, like, I mean, you mentioned you believe that StreamYard was at fault with our recent drop. Maybe they were having issues. I mean, again, it's not like they're not popular. I'm sure their servers get hammered.
Yes, I should have checked YouTube. I should have looked at the page just to double check. That's my bad.
And you know what's funny? Usually I do. Usually I'll go into studio because you get to put the keywords in and all that nonsense, right?
What's going on? Hey, Dave, did you find any coffee? So I was giving Dave coffee lessons.
No, I know. Yeah, but you told me what you were talking with him, and you came back and said, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. It's like, I want to take maybe 30 seconds to make coffee. Other than that, I'm wasting attention units.
Yeah, so no one saw it scheduled. Token Nomad didn't see it scheduled.
But did you guys get notified? Please tell me you got notified when we went live, for Christ's sake.
Did it say Bangkok Exchange is live or will be live in a half hour? Or
how many of you guys, I mean, because I'm friends with a couple of you, probably about half of you on Facebook, and I go live. We go through my server, and then we go live on Facebook too.
Oh, hey, Cody, man, what's going on? Haven't seen you in the chat in a minute. How's things?
Okay, but you got it, though. Yeah, it's good to see you, Cody. Right on, man. Yeah, I always smile when
I only
see
get the notification right before you go
which is, again, that's how it should be. But the problem is some people don't even get notified.
You should see it on the YouTube homepage. So if you're on, it should say, if you follow our channel, it'll say upcoming live streams. Yeah. So Good Love Town only saw it after he was already watching it. Josh got notified. This is the coffee channel, right? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the in-depth coffee report.
Oh God.
Yeah, already finished, Dave.
I have buddies like back home too, and they just, I mean, it is such a, but you know what? It's the same thing with like craft brew. Like there are some guys that really like to, they know all about it, and they have all these statistics, and
Peruvian cocaine.
Right. And trust me, I didn't really, the statistics were irrelevant. It was the effect I was going for. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that there is anything I ingest that I have any passion for at all.
Chip saw it on Facebook.
Oh, hey. Oh my God, Chip. It is so good to see you. So good to see you. Hola, mi amigo. Chip was literally the best engineer I ever had.
Nice.
He worked with me at KFMB.
Nice.
Star 100.7 KFM BFM, San Diego's FM. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. Bangkok.
That guy's so much texture in his voice.
Chip,
dude.
you'll appreciate this. Go to bkk.fm in your browser, dude. And all you got to do is listen to at least one song, and you'll hear this guy that he's talking about. I got the voiceover guy who does
so good
NFL.
Yeah.
And what's the other one that Westwood One, Chip, so you'll know from the feeds. And he used to do KUPD Arizona.
So much texture in his voice. compressed like crazy. It's like so good.
But it's because he sends me the dry reads.
Yeah.
I mean, even he's like, you know, like we're talking and I get a little elated, right? Yeah. So my voice gets less deep, right? And he's like, all right, Mike, well, now basically I'm going to do. I mean, it just gets lower than that. Yeah. I mean, his regular speech, right? He's just so friggin', and I've showed you pictures of him, right? Yeah.
He's like a nerdy
little
white guy.
He weighs half what you and I weigh. I mean, but he's so friggin' talented.
What I love about his voice, again, and it's the way he's processing it as well, is like the texture.
Yeah, it helps. He's got a good microphone, I'm sure.
He's a great microphone. Obviously, his voice is amazingly deep to begin with, but it's the way he processes. You get that texture and that grittiness that comes through perfectly.
Yeah,
and he plays with that in the read, which I love.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Well, here's what's interesting too, is that like the way that he reads, that's the way I type it to him.
Yeah.
And that's the other nice, once again, you know, Fiverr versus real adults.
What's he saying? This is to you, KUF Mob.
So our administrator password for everything in the station for the longest time was moo cow moo.
Yeah.
So every now and then, like Chip will just post something on my Facebook. He's like, hey Mike, how you doing? Moo cow moo.
Actually, Beard here has a great suggestion that you need Big Man Tyrone to do your voiceovers.
I don't know who he is.
He's I guess a Vine celebrity when Vine was big.
Yeah, that was like the TikTok of like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
maybe
it was
10 years ago.
I think Vine was a Twitter product.
Oh, okay.
He's like I'm Tyrone. I'm here to fuck your wife.
And was his voice any good, or was he just an idiot?
He had a great, like, it wasn't deep like that guy. It was like deep, but he had like a little like kind of ghetto twang to it. It was a character the guy played.
Yeah, sure.
But he's like, I'm Tyrone. I'm here to fuck your wife.
So he added value globally.
What do you say? Like, I'm long dick. I'm here to fuck your wife, long dick style. It was hilarious.
Okay, so that was his tagline.
That's all he ever said. He would walk up on random people on the street and be like,
"Is that what Vine was?" It was like basically 60-second videos.
No, it was like 10 seconds.
Oh, it was like Snapchat.
It was like 6 seconds. But he's like, I'm Tyrone. I'm here to fuck your wife, long dick style.
And that's all he would say.
And then there'd be people like about to whoop his ass, and he's like, "Oh, I'm joking." It's
and we wonder why the education system in the United States isn't well respected.
But his voice, it was very iconic the way he did it.
I need a good woman voice. That is fucking tough to find. That is really hard. I'm just
So Hugh didn't see it on. So something's up with StreamYard. No,
well,
five he was born with 5 testicles. He grew an additional 30.
Yeah, I think he's got a wheelbarrow in front.
Yeah, he must walk around with a wheelbarrow just full of testicles.
Probably. That's probably why he had to move to Salt Lake. Because he's like, hey, look, it's the only way I'm going to be able to get all these in one. It's got to be cold outside.
24/7.
He's amazing.
If I Google BKK FM, it comes up with Bangkok Farmers Market.
I know. See, there's the rub, dude. That's why you need the dot jackass. Yeah.
Mike hates it. I always BKK.
No, it's
FM?
disrespectful. Like, I understand. I don't understand why you think that's so funny.
I think it's hilarious.
See, what's crazy is that, like, you really, I think that one of the definitions of ugly is the display of potential knowledge with zero. That's why I just don't understand why.
We should get BKK.
Plus, we're friends.
BKK.am.
So I might have looked for it.
BKK.frequency modulation.
That's what FM is, yeah.
No, but BKK.frequency modulation.
So, you know what I just got the other day for $5?
What?
Dude.technology.
No. Really?
Type it in.
What?
Fuck yeah, buddy. Are you kidding me? I was just like surfing. I'm like, this is great.
Moo cow moo.
Moo cow moo. See, there you go, buddy. Now you know all the admin passwords.
He makes his money on Fiverr now.
That guy, yeah.
Good morning from Shanghai.
Hey, right on, man.
How's it going? How's things in Shanghai? What's your AQI situation in Shanghai? We're pushing 87 in Bangkok.
Where does that measure it, though?
This is in my neighborhood.
Okay, it's in your neighborhood. Because mine was, what did I say, 135?
Yeah, mine's based on GPS. So it's like wherever I am, it'll update. Well, it should update. It will generally update when I touch the app. So let me
oh, really? It's got to do a refresh?
Yeah, so it's still 87 here in Bangkok.
I don't know where.
Whole bunches of 5 from Joe. Cody, I actually really missed the woman's voice on your audio only podcast. You are now listening to Bangkok Strange.
Well, that's Jib.
That's Jib. Those are coming back. So it's Jib with a bunch of effects on her voice. That's actually coming back soon. We've got.
Wait, when were we? Oh, yeah. This afternoon.
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay.
We've been recording other episodes.
How many do we have now? Is it just Tony?
Today will be 4. And two Tony.
Yeah, we did one the other day. And our goal is minimum of 4 front loaded.
Yes.
Which means we got to do 5 before we release the first. Okay.
Correct.
How many? Tony is we're gonna split that up like once a month, right?
Yeah, we'll do 1 Tony, then we'll drop 2 more, and then we'll do.
What do you guys want to hear about on a Bangkok Strange podcast? Because I mean, obviously, I can talk about anything as can you. And when we get together, game over. Right?
If you guys have topics, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, again, oh, hey, so you should come over to that building I showed you last night.
Yeah,
new building that went up near my condo. It's freaking amazing.
Shanghai AQI 138, wet and dank.
Yeah, yeah. When I was in when was I in Shanghai? God, probably 2 years ago or whatever. And their airport is massive.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Way better than the Guangzhou airport, which was sketchy.
I've never been to, well, I mean, don't forget, before Alibaba, Guangzhou was a friggin' rice field. As was Shanghai, quite frankly.
It was a farmer's village.
Right.
Yeah.
Farm. But it's
sorry, not farm. Fisherman village. There's a fisherman's village, Guangzhou.
Where's the... I mean, it's just a river, though, right?
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's not like it's not like the Amazon that goes through there.
In the river.
Seriously.
Yeah. They showed us photos at the Guangzhou Library.
I tell you, if
like 20 years ago, is literally a fishing town.
When did Shanghai start? Was it 20 or 30 years ago?
Shanghai forever. It's always been a major city.
All right, wait. What am I thinking of? What's the one across the river?
Shenzhen. You're thinking of Shenzhen.
Shenzhen. Yes. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Shanghai. Yeah, but although they have a bullet train, right?
38. Sorry, I read that wrong. AQI 38. Oh,
It's not bad.
yeah, that's not bad. That's great air quality. Nice.
When I wake up in the morning, I don't use the air conditioner as much as I possibly can. So when I wake up in the morning, I usually just open my windows, I turn the fan on, hang out. And usually by about
talking about like the constant incoherent rambling.
Yeah, I mean that's the important thing I think that adds value to the internet.
Oh, Dave throwing it back to the early 2000s, telecom freak. Yeah, my old school, the very first podcast. No, it'd be my second after.
Shenzhen. Thanks.
Ground game. That's when Shenzhen. Yeah, Shenzhen. I've been to Shenzhen and Guangzhou. Nice. I'll tell you what, Guangzhou is beautiful.
Well, everything's brand new, right?
Super modern.
Yeah.
It's like a cool version of Singapore.
I wonder how much money they got from the government to do. I mean, obviously Alibaba was like, yeah, let's start.
Yeah.
But I mean, the government was like, whoa.
Shenzhen's actually nice too. Not as nice as Guangzhou, but nice.
Shenzhen, I mean, it's expensive.
Guangzhou can't be cheap. Yeah. So I stayed in the Ritz-Carlton in Guangzhou.
So it was 150 maybe?
No, the government was our host, so they put the top 3 floors for all of the speakers.
Okay.
And so like the keynote guy, like the guy from Israel, obviously had the dope room. But even I had a suite, and it was like a 1-bedroom suite in the Ritz-Carlton. It was huge, kind of a bit dated. With the
right.
style.
Sure.
But that's their thing, right? Like that's what people think of as luxury. But I'm like, I don't need a
gold everywhere.
I don't need a day bed with like claw feet in the middle of the living room. But I had this amazing view of like the riverfront outside the Ritz-Carlton from my room, and they have LEDs in the concrete.
Oh, that's cool.
And they run these designs through the LEDs.
That's pretty nice.
I remember in the morning looking down and people doing Tai Chi out in the park.
Ah, nice.
And it was right as sunrise was coming up, so some of the LEDs were still going.
Oh, there you go.
And it was just a cool effect.
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, I almost went there because, of course, Alibaba has their big conference there. It's the equivalent of AWS reInvent.
Well, that's a whole. We'll have to do the whole Bangkok Strange drop shipping podcast, Token Nomad.
I mean, we could, but I mean, here's the thing: is if we set up a podcast for that, I mean, we're gonna break the server. So many people will log in.
Billions.
I mean,
probably trillions.
Yeah, but break the server.
Joe wants to know about a BS challenge. Joe gets it.
Yeah, of course he does. He's fucking awesome.
Come on, guys. If we don't hit this challenge,
that's all right.
So I was thinking about buying this Olympus to replace my Fuji.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Despite the fact that
I don't know about
despite the fact that it has an inferior sensor, is twice as much money, and the lenses
well, again,
are shit.
It's not like they're bankrupt. I mean, the company's in business.
Yeah, no, it's a nostalgia thing with Olympus. It's a very niche.
Is that why people would have a passion for that
that Micro Four Thirds sensor format's kind of niche, and honestly, to be honest, Panasonic Panasonic owns that space.
Okay,
like
what is their brand? I can't remember. No. But oh god, it's like Muslix or something. Like, what is the name of the camera? Oh god, I can't think of it. But it's Panasonic, right? And then they're never mind. I'd have to.
In the Micro Four Thirds, like they're the player.
Yeah.
4/3. Olympus is just an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, I'm on Fujifilm. They're only APS-C in medium format.
Their company is called Fujifilm. They didn't just change it to Fuji.
It's just Fujifilm.
Film.
Yeah. Yeah, Fujifilm. Everyone just calls it Fuji. But
that's like Tesla calling it car gas. What the fuck, dude?
But it's their iconic name, right?
Oh yeah. No, I mean, you definitely hear of it. Yeah.
And they do film simulation.
Other than Goodyear, I think they're the only company that still has blimps.
I don't know anyone shooting Olympus like on a high level, just because it's such
I don't know anyone.
Again,
what they use.
Micro Four Thirds is not the camera, not the sense you would get for professional photography. Oh my god!
What is that like? Seaweed?
Goi chai.
What is that?
Babe, let me see this goi chai.
What is goi chai?
Come say hi on the stream, babe. Guys, Jib ordered me this goi chai from Facebook Marketplace.
What the hell is this?
This is like 90% chive.
And what do you do with it?
So
just eat it raw?
These are the things that you fry it. These are the things that you buy from the market. Yeah.
Round.
Yeah, round like this.
That's how they sell it, like on the street.
Yeah, you see it's like a green cover with the dough and fry it like brown.
Yeah, pop over here in the
Here,
middle.
sit on your big boy's lap.
So Wong
Yeah,
Tek Yan
he's
says,
too
I was
fat.
gonna relocate from Bangkok,
Like when I said like I bumped his belly.
Saigon from Shanghai after
Not
12 years in
this
2020. But yeah, for sure. Hey, what's up? Say hi, bro.
That's freaking awesome.
You gonna say hi?
Hi.
You know what we're
You
gonna
want
need
it
to
fried?
do.
Yeah, I'll make it before we record the other session.
Okay.
So the
you
house
want
is
to
gonna
eat all
smell like
three,
this.
Or
What's that?
you
What?
want to eat all three or
No, just
one?
one, just
Okay,
one.
I will put in freezer for
Okay.
2.
Great.
You want to try?
No.
Yeah, you do. It's so good. So Joe's saying we need a
Ooh.
challenge: 50 burpees a day for 100 days.
What is that?
Oh, come on. No, I'm not gonna work out.
What is burpee?
It's like a push up with a jumping jack.
Yeah, you like.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of right.
Mike's face expression.
50 a day? 50 times a day that you have to do?
It's a difficult
50 reps.
exercise.
It is.
50.
Yeah, it's like a
How
what
many
is
times per rep?
what?
How many times that you have to do?
One. It's like a push up, then you jump up into the
Yeah.
air.
Yeah,
then
and
you
then
go back
land
to
on the
push-up.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, bend your knee, which would
So count as one?
like up that right.
And
That would
then I
be
have to
one.
do 50
Yeah.
times
Well, he
a
says,
day.
does he say 50 or 100?
50.
What was his
They-
challenge?
50 a day for 100 days, and then 15,000 steps.
Yeah, not
Do it.
happening.
You do
15,000
it.
steps
You do
wouldn't be super difficult. I mean, you'd have to have a pretty far destination.
I was at 18 yesterday. I was out filming all day, 18,000 steps.
I guess I should start measuring mine because I walk, a lot.
Get yourself I've got a sport watch.
I
If you
think
want to
I
wear
can
a watch.
literally turn it on my phone.
Yeah.
I've got
And it
a
just-
Sunto watch if you want it.
Nah, no, it's okay. I don't know why. Yeah, why would I? So it's like a sub phone on your wrist. Is that what? I mean, is that why people wear those?
The Sunto is like a sport specific watch, so it's like all types of crazy shit on that Sunto watch.
Why don't you use it? Oh, because you're
'Cause
Apple.
I'm an Apple guy. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
about the ecosystem.
Yeah, right. Sure.
No, but really, even like some of the stuff you can do with this, and I can like voice message Jib and annoy her if
Mhm.
I know like she's doing something like walkie-talkie. Hey, what's going on?
That's cool. That's critical. I could see
It's
paying
like when
money
you
for
don't
that.
pick up my call.
Right.
I have
Yeah.
to walk like
Because she's
Look
Asian,
at
so
your
therefore
phone.
she's like, "How come you not texting me? You didn't text me back. You didn't let me know where you were."
Well, so I'm horrible at actually answering phone calls. I don't think I've
Yes.
answered phone calls.
so
in-
I can't put
Well-
his name on emergency contact because I would die before he knows.
Well, I rarely
need
have my
help.
ringer on.
yeah, me either.
So I look. The only time I'm waiting for a call is when the delivery guy is going to show up. Like I ordered food,
Yeah.
and
And he
grab.
put my number.
For me,
But-
if you're calling my phone, generally it indicates that you think whatever you want to tell me is so important that I should stop what I'm doing and listen to you. Whereas you could just send me a message
Yeah,
and
put
when
it in
I'm
the
free,
queue.
I can read it
Right,
and
yeah.
respond.
Yeah, like for example, like when the Canadian embassy, right?
Yeah.
I was like, we were messaging,
Yeah,
and
you're
I'm like, hey, here, and
they're-
I honestly, I didn't think they were going
you're
to call
like
you
they're
right
gonna
then.
call, and like literally they're calling as you're typing something.
I get that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I got to tell you. I mean, and here's the other thing too. You walk into the lobby of that place.
Tim
my-
Hortons.
Well, there's Tim Hortons, yeah. But I mean, I swear, I thought the guy was going to hug me.
I thought
Canadians are so
they're
freaking
just
nice.
asking me like what color is Mike's hair? Like he's bald. I don't know what color his hair
See,
is.
that's the Canadians, dude. Trick
Yeah.
question. That's how they get you.
I'm like, I've never seen his pubes. I could ask him. And then they're like, what color are his eyes? I'm like, I have no idea.
Did they ask you the bunghole question?
yeah.
Because I mean, other people were asked that.
Is
way.
it loose? Is it tight?
I mean, it's hard to say. It depends on temperature.
So gotta love Tyler says, what did you guys say wrong that she's now there?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
she just
Oh,
came
the
to show me
delivery.
the delivery of the goy chai.
And so this is like, is this difficult to buy or something? You're like, why are you just excited because it tastes
it's
good?
just excited because this is the
No,
density of chai.
It's like normally you can get from your local market,
Uh-huh.
but it's like lots more dough than the chai.
And this is the
More
right
chai.
Mm.
percentage.
That's like what he like.
And what does this cost? Like 200-300 baht or something like that?
$199 includes shipping.
And when it came by Flash.
And is this the company
I
that
think, yeah,
local?
local from Nonthaburi.
So Wong Tek Yan asks, when the borders finally open up, what do you guys think will be the biggest difference from pre-COVID
Well, I mean, and I assume when you say open up, you mean you will not have to quarantine, right? Because I mean, the border's open and Gracie's coming and she's going to have to be in a hotel for 16 days.
Yeah.
So when by the time it opens up, so anyone can just stamp in and, may or may not have to quarantine or whatever, it's just going to basically take about 1.5 to 2 years. And it's going to be back up to the number of people that showed up in 2019.
I don't know if it'll be that quick. I think so. Chinese tourism was the biggest in Bangkok.
They're gonna go crazy.
I think they're gonna pick a new destination. I think something else is gonna
why? What else is out there?
Because it cycles. So I think something else is gonna be the hot spot.
I don't know. I think Thailand is pretty good at making sure that other countries know about the tourism here. I mean, Amazing Thailand was a huge global promotion.
So, but I think a lot of the Chinese businesses have shuttered. And I think if they open up, they'll look for a more economically advantageous position.
I disagree, but we'll see. I mean, I think based on the wild success that Thailand has had, and they're not really advertising that, quite frankly. But I mean, I think that enough people know that there's no one dead here. COVID is effectively statistically insignificant.
I think what we're going to see is, honestly, I think you're going to see.
I didn't think you were lying. I mean,
but I think we're going to see Chinese businesses, because like a lot of them that were opened up that exclusively served Chinese tourists,
the groups
have closed.
Mm-hmm.
They went back to China.
Sure.
And so I think they're going to find someplace cheaper to go to next to attract more tourists.
Yeah, I disagree.
We'll see how the market.
They're going to be so jazzed to come back.
It could be Vietnam. It could be. I know Borneo saw a big influx right before COVID, so Borneo could be their next big location.
I think Thailand. I think honestly, my opinion is it's going to absolutely explode because people are going to be like, "That's
Borneo's
awesome."
Also a shorter trip. It's like half the distance from China.
Come on.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I get how like one of the lower percentages of expats is from the U.S. Simply because it is a hell of a commute, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think there's too much to offer.
I'm not saying there's going to be zero Chinese tourism. I just think
I'm not saying that
the waves that we've seen up to this point are going to be far less because there are better financial options for those tour groups to go to.
There are other. I don't know if they're better.
I think there are better financial options.
Yeah.
Thailand's going to be more expensive, especially to rebuild infrastructure.
And I think that's going to be the sexy part, actually, for the businesses, is the fact that it is getting more expensive and they're going to be able to potentially make more profit.
I think Laos is going to be a bigger draw as well.
Right.
No, I do. I think
Jesus Christ.
I think Vientiane.
It's the middle of nowhere. It's landlocked, zero beaches.
Exactly why. They've got
horrible infrastructure.
Their infrastructure is lacking, but I think it's for tourism, they're looking to invest in that space. So
the next couple of years, there's no way they're going to ramp up that fast.
I think
unless the Chinese are the ones doing it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, if they just throw all the infrastructure,
they've already got a lot of money invested in that country. It makes sense.
Yeah, there's no beach.
I
hope you're right. I mean, quite frankly, the last thing I want is anybody to come to Thailand.
Well, it's the whole reason they were coming to Bangkok. There's no beach here.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is a major city. I mean, there's no major city in Laos.
Vientiane.
Oh, come on. Jesus Christ.
It's like the Cleveland of Asia.
I mean, I like having the discussion. I mean, because it's like it helps me to sort of realize, okay, what am I thinking about? What am I not thinking about? I'm still pretty set though. I'm definitely convinced that this is going to be one of the biggest global destinations for travel in the next decade.
Well, it was before this as well
because of the success they had during COVID.
So Token says he's got the Redemption weeded. Oh, the weeded bourbon, nice for old fashioned. Very good, very light textured, nice. Weeded bourbons are quite nice. They have a very round, beautiful flavor to them. I'm gonna have to now. I want to find a weeded that I can dig into. Wong Tek Yen, he thinks summer 2020 maybe. I agree. That's probably the soonest we'll see it. I don't know if it'll be fully open by then. There'll be enough Chinese tourists to still flood Southeast Asia and everywhere else for that matter.
Yeah. No, there's billion, right? So
but
I mean,
Bangkok has been their number one destination. I don't think that's going to be true post-COVID.
I was amazed that Bangkok was like the number one destination in the world. However they rated it. Was that like 2-3 years ago?
By transit volume, yeah.
And what was the number?
Like
35 million, right?
Yeah,
well, 25 million people go to fucking San Diego every year. And it's just like, okay, well, that doesn't make that the number 7 top destination.
I think Joe's right. 2023 is when things will be fully open.
But okay, well, again, define fully open. You mean, in other words, you're going to be able to come in and stamp in?
Yeah.
The only change right now would be you wouldn't have to quarantine for 16 days.
I think
You and I could come to this country and stamp in for 45 days.
Yeah, but I think what we're going to see is 60 days, right? Because they give you the 45, they give you 15.
Well, 45, yes.
Oh, is it 30 plus 15?
Mhm. 30 plus 15, yeah.
So I think what we're going to see is in 2022, you're going to be able to come here. If you have a vaccine record, you're going to be able to come in
Without quarantining?
without quarantine. I think, and they're probably not going to do that this year. All indications say that that's
I would agree.
not going to be the case.
Mhm.
Or I should say, all the medical professionals suggest not to lift the quarantine requirement.
Whatever.
And I think that's important.
People are listening to every. Yeah, they're paying obviously a lot more attention to the medical implications here than they are in the United States.
So I think 2023 there'll be no quarantine with vaccination record, and vaccination levels should be so high by 2023 that it's a non-issue.
So okay, so in other words, they'll just assume you don't have polio, right? As well as not. Yeah, okay.
I think by 2023, be like, you'll probably still have to have the record. Like I was talking with my friend Kendrick, who was in the chat earlier the other day about our old Army shot records. How you get in one day in the Army, they give you a little fucking paper book and you walk through and they just
malaria.
You get them in both arms and then they start hitting you in the ass.
Right.
And there's one they put in your ass. It's like an anticoagulant. And you have to like sit on the floor and waddle to break it up because it makes a big bubble on your butt.
Yeah, one of the top 19 reasons I didn't join the Army. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think Joe's right. So I think by 2023, the assumption is that vaccination is ubiquitous. Essentially,
okay,
and some countries will be able to come without a vaccine check. Probably not the U.S. because of all our anti-vaxxers.
Totally,
but for the most part, if you have a vaccine record, you'll be able to travel uninhibited.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm fine getting the vaccine. I don't have an issue with that.
So Wang Taikan says the new wave of China stores will be more sophisticated and not too bothered with Chinese-oriented business serving them. More partial to local experience. So that would be cool. I would definitely like to see that.
Again, it's not going to be the majority. I think that the culture of China is to travel in buses, and not just to Thailand, right? In other words, but they're a very group sort of. Now, to be fair, one could argue that that's also based on social status and socioeconomic, like, means and that sort of thing. The wealthier families in Vietnam, they travel less groups. They have more individualized, the 2 people to a car, no more than 4 people in their special tricked out van. Yeah. Right. Kind of thing. Whereas, the average person, when I go down to the beach in Cha'am, there is 1 car, 7 people, 4 mats, and a shitload of food. Yeah. And they're having a great old time. I would never travel like that.
No, me either.
And so I don't know. We also never earned minimum wage.
Yeah.
So one could argue that we're not average Americans. I don't know. Do you consider yourself an average American?
It's tough to even consider myself an American anymore.
Yeah, I feel you. No, I understand what you mean by that. I'm definitely an American. I'm also a Canadian.
100% American. Don't get me wrong. But it's difficult to see myself in that bubble now. Looking at it from the outside, 8 years.
If for free, overseas, someone could walk up to you and literally hand you a Canadian passport, and you would have to destroy your American passport, would you care?
I mean, I'd take it.
Would you?
Yeah.
If you had to destroy your U.S. one, though,
it doesn't matter.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I still want to be attached to it.
I have no. Look,
I have an allegiance.
I'm incredibly fortunate that I was born there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Me too. I mean,
I served in the Army.
Grateful.
I'm very fortunate.
But moving forward, you're like, I don't really have any attachment to it.
It's just this. I've gained all the socioeconomic benefit I'm going to get from the United States. Right, I'm in my 40s, so it makes zero sense for me to care if I'm still a U.S. citizen.
Okay,
like, I'm
still getting massive economic benefit.
Would I still be loyal? Would still consider myself American? Yeah, but if I could trade up for a more advantageous passport, I absolutely would.
Yeah, so one could argue that Canadian was not more advantageous; it's quite equal, really.
Yeah.
So,
but there are more advantageous. You essentially, as a Canadian, you don't lose any of the advantages of being an American. You gain all the advantages of the Canadian social infrastructure.
No, I mean, I don't have insurance just because I'm a citizen all of a sudden.
No, but if you went there, you could be in the insurance pool.
Yeah,
the single payer healthcare, no problem.
Yeah. Well, sort of. Yeah. I mean, in other words, I've never worked.
No, but
so
but there's still a social security net that covers you. It would be like you're a homeless guy getting medical treatment.
I need to figure that out because I know my dad, because he now has dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Both my parents. I don't believe he gets his like Canadian pension. Like he doesn't get Social Security anymore because he's lived outside of Canada
Yeah.
for so long.
I know from one of my Canadian friends, she had to reactivate hers when she went back.
Yeah, I think it takes 6 months.
She filed a piece
Actually.
of paperwork and it was done.
Oh, that day?
Yeah.
That sounds weird. I was literally talking to a guy at my meeting yesterday, and he's Canadian, and he definitely does not go home. But somehow I think he indicated 6 months, so that's weird. Maybe a lot's changing. I mean, shit, the Australians can't even leave their own country right now, right? Is
Yeah.
it still that way?
I believe so, yes.
Jesus, dude.
So Hugh says he hopes social distancing remains. Crowding adds chance of
Yeah.
meeting rude persons.
How awesome is it getting all that seating? Especially our size.
Yeah.
Like when we go to the movies, it's like, crap, there's
Well,
someone sitting next to me.
100
Well, there's
baht.
never anyone in the...
Well, no, 100 baht, you get a sofa, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's freaking awesome. Isn't it?
Token says, my wife said that there have been reports in the Thai papers indicating that the government is already seeing huge interest from China to get back to Thailand. Not sure of the source, though. Yeah, they say that, but when they ran the STV for China, they had like 14 applications. So
How many did they have in total? It's like literally like less than 100, right?
Yeah. Total applications after 6 months of STV was something like 60.
Yeah, 60. I think that was the number that
Mm.
I saw too, which is weird. I mean, I don't know. I
My
would
Thai
thought-
American buddy, who is an ESL professor here, is thinking of opening an English language school in BKK focused on the Chinese market.
Mm.
I have no idea if that's a good idea or not. So
it
I
depends.
don't know. I'm not in that space, but I can tell you that
It's a red ocean.
it is. But I can also tell you that one of my friends who owns an ed tech company and is very successful, English is quickly becoming their secondary language to Chinese.
Mandarin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So teaching Mandarin is quickly replacing English.
And where does he teach? Who are his customers?
Thais.
Oh, okay. So Thais would rather learn, not necessarily rather, but maybe
Not-
in
English,
addition.
English is still the
Yeah,
biggest
business language, sure.
but Mandarin is quickly gaining traction.
I don't disagree. I mean, if there's a second language I'm going to learn, I mean, it would be nice to know Thai living here, but it's not really a requirement to have a good life here in my experience. Tagalog, yeah, one could argue that would be nice. It would be neat if I could speak Tagalog and I could talk to Gracie's parents. I would love to be able to do that. But Chinese, yeah, dude, totally.
I like how Juan Tekian says when they get unleashed.
Everybody, yeah.
Chinese do tend to love Bangkok, but there was a lot of infrastructure here before
It's
to
the
support them.
Yeah, the shopping and
Yeah.
all that. They like that, you know.
But I think there will be more people from North America and Europe settling permanently in Thailand. Yeah, I definitely would agree with that.
Maybe.
After this, I think more people will see it as an option. But again, it depends if the digital nomad visa passes. If the 1 year version of that passes,
Yeah.
then yes, I think you'll see a lot more people come here. And it'd be
Yeah.
will it if it makes sense for the Thai government from a tax perspective, if they can make it work.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem with, people. I really think that paying taxes is important. Like
Yeah.
if you're going to live somewhere, I
Pay-
think it's
Pay your fucking taxes.
yeah. And, and again, but to be fair, I also don't live in the United States anymore. Neither do you. And so, yeah, I'll pay a little bit in because obviously when I get old, yeah, there'll be Medicare. And of course, but I mean,
Well, you paid in for 30 years. so-
and
Yeah.
but then there's also, the FEI, right? I mean,
Mm.
the federal earned income exclusion that if I earn the money outside of the United States, they're like, look, you can earn up to, I think this year now it's like $111,000,
111 million would be a nice
which would
exemption.
be, the cap, nice cap, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? And, but above that, you do need to pay federal income tax, but below it, no. And I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's not a bad exemption for
Yeah.
sure. Now I think
Considering we got to pay taxes no matter where we work.
yeah,
The
which is
friggin'
pretty
globe,
shitty.
that's kind of lame.
But at the same time, like again, like if you're gonna live in Thailand, if they're gonna make a digital nomad visa, it needs to have tax benefits for the country.
And you could argue then they might roll in a work permit similar to the smart visa.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, that-
really
that's the talk right now,
right. And
because they want you to be able to. The whole thing, if you're gonna live here and not pay taxes, you really are just a tourist.
I think actually, correct me if I'm wrong, part of their sort of proposal of that is that you will have to make a certain amount of money. Like you got to say, look, I'm actually making like $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Maybe top line revenue, which is of course how every fucking drop shipper tells everybody.
Yeah.
And of course their expenses are $2,100 a month. But nonetheless, I mean, I think that will be a good checks and balances. And because of that, then they can say, okay, You know, you're not going to pay 35%, but I mean, you know, if you're making like $25,000 a year, what's your tax bracket here?
Yeah.
17, right?
Yeah, not even.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. But wait, do you pay federal and provincial?
Yeah.
And combined, it wouldn't be 17.
I don't think so.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
pretty tight. Yeah, that's good.
So again, it's looking at what the benefit to the country is. They have to work that out, and for the most part, you know, they have to be able to recoup some of that cost through taxes and through visa costs,
Mhm.
and then, but also there's a stimulation to the economy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a shitload of coffee shops that are totally closed and forever in
Yeah.
Chiang Mai.
Bars in Bangkok, things like that.
You know, I mean, obviously, it's not part of our view really anymore. It's not a part of our sphere of life, but you know, Pattaya, right? I mean, you take a city like that. I mean, certainly the only reason I went there initially was to get laid.
Oh my God, that people do that in Pattaya?
So occasionally, in fact, there's an app that you might actually want to know about should you go there. But, you know, again, like I've mentioned, I mean, my phrase is I got the Pattaya out of my system. And, you know, just like I got fake boobs out of my system by living in Southern California long enough. And, you know, and so, I mean, but there is so nobody in Phuket, like where, for example, where Todd is. Yeah. And that is
dead. Like he puts videos up from Patong. It's empty.
And the thing about Patong, I mean, it's one thing. I mean, like Karen Beach, right? Like they're absolutely empty.
Yeah.
They're ripping up the whole friggin' street. The street is going to be awesome when they're done with this thing.
Like ice.
But then friggin' Patong is friggin' garbage. Like you go one block in, there's friggin' trash everywhere. I mean, they're doing something at the beach, but
Token says there's a YouTube channel with a bunch of Chinese guys in Pattaya partying it up and doing the bar scene, not typical Chinese style. That sounds
that's probably a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
I bet they're getting a lot of views because again, it's not as common.
Joe says 3-day mandatory with vaccine. Mariano. In Germany, they're talking about a vaccine app for everyone, but privacy rules in Europe. Yeah, right?
Dude.
Talking about that for around 10 years.
He was on my test stream thing. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mariana. You said 25 million euro it cost him to make that app. It was over. He and I were joking about it on the stream. And I'm like, you gotta be shit, man.
25 million euros.
I mean, they pay, what's the taxes in Germany? It's like 45%, right?
High.
It's like Canada's high too.
Deanna the Nomad, good morning.
Hey, all right. Good to see you, man.
I want to get through these China.
Where are you now, dude? Are you down? Are you still in Phuket? Or are you up here? We're probably way behind in comments because, of course, I've opened my mouth.
That whole China Talk group thing is changing because the younger generation is teaching their parents and grandparents how to better travel. It would take time, but it can change quite. Oh, let's hope.
Define better. You mean like more individual versus bus?
Yeah, enjoy. Like get your own enjoyment, not follow a bunch of people.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I was in, I think I told you this story. I was in Samyang Midtown, and there was a Chinese couple with their little kid walking around on the same floor that I was on. Up by I was in front of the Home Pro.
Okay.
And their kid literally just squats down and takes a shit on the floor.
Recently?
Before COVID.
Okay, but like 2 years.
Yeah. 2019.
So that's amazing to me because I've heard stories of people Chinese doing that.
I was buying art supplies at the Samchai
and so
the Samchai shop.
So you sketched this?
No, I was buying art supplies and I came out and I was going into Home Pro, and so their kid just squats and takes a shit and they just grab it by the hand and walk away.
They didn't like say don't do that kind of thing,
or try to clean it up or anything. It was just, and like it's funny because people were just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like no one was shocked. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, I'm sure the Thais were offended.
I'm sure, but they didn't say anything.
Yeah, cool. Well, right, of course, yeah.
I was just like, what is going on?
You know, it's funny. I heard stories of the Chinese doing that. And because of that, I also thought I either read or maybe I just heard a rumor that for the Chinese to come over here to get their visa, they actually had to take like a quiz of some kind.
Really?
Yeah, like don't talk bad about the king. Don't take a shit in front of a Home Depot. I mean, basically stuff like, or Home Pro, but stuff like that. Do you ever hear about that?
I've not. I know they have a social credit score is what they call it.
Oh yeah, but that's just based on their behavior there and people judging
So
them.
Dan says if you declare yourself a non-resident, you have to pay taxes on money if you use the healthcare without being a resident.
Okay.
Also, electric car. Well, let's talk about the electric car issue.
Oh, the one we were trying to rent?
Yes. So we had the trip plan for last Wednesday. and it ends up being a no-go.
So the name of the app is Hop, H-A-U-P, as in H-O-P, right? So I open the app, and the way it works is you open the app at the car. The car has like a transponder on it, basically, that's connected via 3G, I think, only, but nonetheless, it's connected. And you press a button on the app, which then sends an unlock command to the car. And there was one screen before that where you click on I accept, meaning it's like, yeah, I have insurance and all this, but even though and I can't get past that. So I'm sitting there at about 8 a.m. And then I sent Dana a message. I'm like, dude, I can't get into the friggin' car. And I'm thinking, okay. So, I mean, basically, it was just sort of say, so there's a chance I won't be there at 9, like we planned.
Yeah.
So 8:15, you and I are still chatting.
Yeah.
8:20, 8:30, nothing. I sent him a message. I'm like, look, I can only wait till 8:30 because I'm like, there's got to be some degree of accountability here. And so you try and install this app on your iPhone.
Only opens in Thai.
Only opens in Thai. And I'm sitting there, I'm messaging the support, and the only way that you can't call them, you can only message them via line. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I bet I'm going to walk all the way home. I'll get home. It'll be like 9:15, and they'll be like, oh, we've unlocked the car for you, sir. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Just message. They didn't get back to me till like 4:30.
No, it was later than that.
Was it later than that?
I think you messaged me at night.
It was frustrating.
And then they charge you the next day?
Yeah. So they charge me the next day because, of course, that's the process, right? And so, but during this thing, I'm like, look, I couldn't do this. I've literally rented this exact car and gone to my exact same friend's house. And they're like, well, hold on. And they hold on. Yeah. And it's like 10, 20, 30. And I say, you still there kind of thing? They're like, okay, we figured out what's wrong. And they were very apologetic, sort of the standard. And they said, we're going to credit you your 920 baht, and we're going to give you 200 baht. Yeah. And I thought, okay, they got their act together. So what they ended up doing is adding 200 baht credit to my app that I can graciously spend on their cars that I can't fucking rent.
They're not going to give you 200 baht cash.
Amazon does.
Are they Amazon?
No, but
we're talking about an electric car rental company in Bangkok.
Actually, here's the thing: is yes, they have two electric vehicles. Yeah, they have the Farm, which BMW. Floats, and then the BMW.
You mean it surfs
up top? And in Bangkok, strange, we surf.
Yeah,
how you doing? So anyway, so it's very frustrating. And then they're like, well, give us your Casacorn, give us your bank account stuff so we can transfer it. Otherwise, it'll take like 4 to 7 weeks or something. I'm thinking, oh my God. So of course I give them my thing. And it will be in your account by 6 p.m. That was 2 days ago. Yesterday morning shows up and it's not there. I'm like, you guys said you were going to give me the money. You were quite versed in charging me the 920, but you haven't credited me. So they respond, they say, oh, it'll be there by the 28th. So I'm like, all right, month end, I get it. They do all their chargebacks and then they get this for fine. But the thing that bothers me is we're not technically retarded.
So they tell you why it wouldn't open?
No. And that's very frustrating because I said, listen, they gave me the, we'll let the developers know kind of thing. I think the reason that their support is so fucking gracious is they probably outsource it to the Philippines. Yeah. Because every now and then they drop the sir in there. And I'm like, nah, you might have been like Kun Mike and me, but you like Sir Mike. Yeah. And they're probably sitting there, going, really fucked this guy over.
So I'm just wondering, like, because I still want to do this trip that we have planned.
You think?
And I want to do it in that
precisely
in that car
because it's a go-kart without blowjob ladyboys from Chad's channel.
It's a surfboard with wheels
and it floats. Did we mention it floats, ladies and gentlemen?
So this is why I want to get out there with this. But again, like we got to plan it and we have to know that it's going to open.
Because I'm thinking, okay, I get home and they say, all right, we've opened it for you. And then I'd be like, okay, but you took like however long. You and I are down there at the goddamn salt mines or whatever we're going, and we can't open the friggin' car. I'd be like, that would shit. Suck. Especially, and then I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I bet you that the app says it's got 100% battery. It's probably friggin' inaccurate. We get down there.
Yeah. Which would just add to the adventure.
I mean, what's the worst thing, right? We're stranded in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll push it back.
Totally.
Yeah,
Strap it to the BTS.
And surf it. We'll surf it
Dude,
for a day.
absolutely.
Boom.
Put it in a clong.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why didn't we think of that earlier?
Hey guys, we need a tow. We're floating in the clong.
Yeah, we're down. Oh, that would be so sweet.
We pulled into the Chow Praya and we're floating away.
But see, here's the thing, right? Like, I mean, again, it would be great to go where we're going. The destination will be awesome. The journey will be awesome. Hanging out will be awesome. Riding in this ridiculous car will be awesome.
With paddle.
Yeah, but we're also using like, you know, an app. Like I'm not going to avis.com and renting a fucking electric car. Like who gives a shit about that? So although
and we don't want a real car, we want
a floating farm.
Because we could rent the BMW.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No, I would rent that from friggin' Hertz.
Right?
It would be like probably like 6,000 baht a day.
Exactly.
Fuck that, dude. You know why? Because we need to buy some of that green shrink wrapped goo that you buy. Gotta save our money for
Koi
that,
chais.
dude. Absolutely.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing with it is now we just have to, we need to get them to confirm that it will open. If we can do that, or at least be like, hey, you need to have someone who's going to respond to me in real time if it doesn't open.
Because here's the thing. The only way I can get back to the point where I am ready to open it and hit that accept thing is I need to make a reservation.
Yes.
And a reservation is a minimum of like 2 hours or something, which is reasonable. You know,
so we were booking for like 8. So
yeah, no, totally. I was going to pick it up at 8 in the morning. I was going to drop it off at like 5 p.m. Here's the other thing, which I thank God I walk past that all the time. On the app, you can rent the car till 7 p.m.
Yeah.
In a garage that closes the freaking metal door at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these douchebags probably would have charged me a whole friggin' night. I mean, I get a parking spot where I live. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and then I had to go through this whole freaking thing all over again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, proactively, we'll return it at like 4:55.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah.
These friggin' guys, they still charge me.
Yeah.
Jesus. So let's say for the sake of argument, it never works.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? We're not just going to rent a friggin' Toyota and drive down there. That'd be no fun.
That's no fun. We got to figure out
Maybe what we do is we take the BTS as far down to the end, and then from there,
or we hire a tuk-tuk for a day.
just with the battery. Oh, and the big speakers. Dude, we hire a BKK.F. Wow, I almost blew it. A BKK.FM tuk-tuk with massive woofers in that thing. From here or from the end of the BTS?
No, we just hire a tuk-tuk driver from here to just like for a day.
The whole way down.
Yeah. Just drive us for a day.
Dude. What would that mean? Well, I bet if we gave him 1,000 baht. I mean, I don't know. It's like 300 to go like a block on those things.
I think
maybe 2,000.
If you get the guy for a day, I'm sure he'd be like, oh, okay.
That's true. He's not doing anything right now.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys line up in front of Siam, and I'm like, the only people here are Thais. They don't rent these things.
Yeah.
Like, why?
It's a tourist thing.
Kind of. I mean,
I you see Thais taking them sometime for like loading with groceries and stuff.
Yeah, maybe that's. I don't see. Are there ones out at the end of 93?
No.
Where would we have to go?
We'd have to actually. Jib has a friend who owns a transport company.
Okay.
So Jib is sending me messages right now as I mentioned that
About the tuk-tuk. Oh, and that's they own those kinds of vehicles.
What did Jib send?
Now, some of them are electric, right?
Oh, Jib said it's International Polar Bear Day.
Oh, thank goodness. That's good. I mean, it's critical. I could see why.
Deanna wants to know how much it costs to rent the electric car.
Wait, hold on. How much was the app?
67.5 million euros.
I need to get into software development for Germany.
2.481 billion baht.
Fucking God.
Hey,
can you imagine the app we could develop for 67 million euro?
Frank is here. What's up, Frank?
Hey, good to see you, man.
Get a neighborhood tuk-tuk in Samrang. Oh, okay.
So we could take the BTS down to Samrang.
Yeah, and then but it'd be cool to just leave.
Nah, I know it would. Because it'd pick us up.
Yeah.
Have the whole experience.
That's like the whole point. Like, but also like I really did want to drive the car into the ocean and see if it floats.
It would have been neat to be able to like. I mean, as long as the water wasn't, like it goes down.
Yeah.
And the reason, if you don't, so FOMM is the name of the car manufacturer. I believe they're out of Thailand.
I think so.
I think so.
I don't know if they manufacture them. I think they're Chinese imported. And assembled.
Yeah, they have. But one of the things on the front page of the website is that it floats. It's electric and it's got paddles instead of an accelerator pedal. But for some reason, they're like, yeah, it floats because of what happened. The reasoning is because it rains so much in Southeast Asia.
Yeah. Well,
here's a tip. put a sewer in.
It's high volume in a short amount of time.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because you're sitting there like all of a sudden, right?
Unless it was Ninja Turtle level sewers.
That's a lot of sewers.
Right. Then you're gonna get flooding. No matter
sure,
what.
you got to. That's why they wear the gear.
Yeah. So floating farms. He says I just rented several Airbnb in Bangkok. Very easy process. Nice.
Oh yeah, where are you staying, man? Yeah, I mean, are you kidding me? The thing that's great about it is you open up the map and it's like like $30, $29, $31.
Well, talk about the place you is $23 a night and $15 service charge.
I'll tell you something. Here's the thing.
Has a kitchen but not allowed to cook.
Yeah. Well, here's what people do in Airbnb in order to get better advertising. Because of course you see a low number and you click on it, right? So they'll advertise. Everyone else around you is renting it for $30 a night, and this guy rents it for $22. But then, of course, to make his money, he charges you $15 a day in cleaning. So the good news, and this was in Manila, and so the good news, and I've had this happen in Florida and in Bangkok. You just question the person about it. Gracie sent them a message, and they said, "I'm really sorry." So they made sure everything was there, and then they sent her, the invoice to pay. Yeah. And for I think she's there 2 weeks, cleaning fee $10.
Nice.
But the thing he's talking about cooking is, how like in Airbnb it lists it's got pots and pans and salt and pepper and all this, and so they checked off all those things, and then in the exceptions area it says isn't allowed to cook, but we have a microwave. So they have pots and pans and a stovetop. You can't cook. And for a Filipina, Gracie's like, this is bumming me out. I mean, she shows me regularly the stuff that she makes.
Senior Frank's on about if you get one of the hood tuk-tuks at 20-30 baht for a ride, you could probably find one and take some time with you for 1 to 2K. Yeah, be sure to take Jib to explain what you want.
I bet 2,000 baht the guy would be psyched
all day.
Yeah.
He's like, you want me to drive where? Okay.
What is that place called? I mean, you call it the salt somethings, right? Like salt
farms.
Salt farms.
Yeah.
And with that, they probably wouldn't know what that means.
No,
right?
we'll have to show them the map. Actually, I wonder if they'll let me drive it.
The tuk-tuk?
Yeah.
I mean,
when we're out there, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Maybe not on Sukhumvit, because I mean,
or maybe,
but maybe these guys, maybe he'd get in trouble or something.
But out there, where there's nothing going on.
Oh yeah. He'd probably let us both drive it.
Did we talk about? Yeah, we did talk about shuffle earlier.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember. Here's the thing: is that if Google says they're in beta, all that means is that there might be something wrong, but it's fucking amazing.
Oh.
Smaller companies where they say they're in beta, that's the true beta. I mean, effectively they're in alpha.
Yeah.
And I mean, and they're in Tel Aviv, and so I thought they would really have a global view.
There's a really good technical tech community in Tel Aviv,
big time, and there's funding, but they're like, no, we're totally focused on getting the U.S. and the European market. I'm like, dude, why did you ask me to test this then in Bangkok? 2000, what's this?
Throwing a ladyboy driver.
Oh, dude, see, I like that. See, Dion knows what time it is. Dion, you maybe have said it, but are you back?
Your love for, he's in Bangkok.
Is he back? Okay, cool, nice. Wait, so 2 hours.
Yeah,
you want to close it out?
Let's wrap it up.
Let's go see if we can get a tuk-tuk somehow.
And then we'll discuss the tuk-tuk situation with Jib.
Big fan.
And then we will come back and do a recording like I said, we've been banking recordings. The audio version of the podcast will return. The pre-recorded Wednesday shows will return. And we'll only be streaming on Saturdays.
Indeed.
40% of the time, we'll stream every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100% uptime, 40% of the time.
Absolutely.
Big time.
All day, every day.
Nonstop, baby.
My man.
Boom.
Until next time, everyone, stay strange.
Peace.